Hey, everybody, you're listening to Metal Gear Mondays. If you want to support the show, follow us on patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays. Is that what it is? What's the URL? Is that it?
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, welcome to episode number 3 remastered, or episode 93 of Metal Gear Mondays, the Games Club style podcast where we cover all things Metal Gear from top to bottom, left to right, inside and out. As always, I'm your host, Alessio Summerfield, and this week I'm joined by...
It's me, your friendly neighborhood James.
And?
It's me, a man whose heart is as cold as the outside in Seattle right now, your boy, Sam Wright.
And?
It's me, Isaac, and I've got avocados from Mexico.
Avocados from Mexico.
From Mexico.
Very nice.
I love that like Isaac never introduces himself with his last name, even though everybody knows what his last name is.
Oh, is that what we do?
I do. I find it funny that we don't script these or anything before the show, and yet you guys always like theme up for the intro.
Theme up.
Yeah, we're good.
Sleem
We're good
up.
troop.
Wow, Isaac.
We're a real
We're
goof
professionals,
troop.
man.
Couldn't think of a word.
That's great. So we are going to dive straight into the thick of things and then save any admin talk for the end of the episode because we've got a lot to cover. This episode, we are going to be covering from the Cyborg Ninja fight conclusion of Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PlayStation 1 all the way up until the end of Disc 1, otherwise known as the death of Sniper Wolf.
Whoa. Yeah. Sniper Wolf's dead.
Exactly.
Spoilers. With her green hair.
If you have not listened to part 1 and part 2, I would absolutely advise you go do those things.
It'd be a weird place to start, guys. I
Yep,
don't know. I
very
mean, feel
strange.
free, but like weird flex, you know?
Yep. But yeah, so we are just going to jump right in, picking up from Cyborg Ninja's defeat and Hal Emmerich officially introducing himself to Solid Snake.
Is this right after he starts fucking slamming his head into the ground? So that's how the fight ends, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. I love that scene. It's so ouch, you know? You feel me on that?
That's so ouch.
Have you ever gotten
That's
on all
so ouch.
fours and just slammed your head into the ground?
A couple times.
Isn't that like a Papa Roach lyric?
Wow.
Yeah,
No, that's-
probably.
Cut my life in 2 pieces. Come on.
Slam my head into the
Specifically
ground.
2
Yeah.
pieces.
Slam my head into the ground. This is Cyborg Ninja.
Bone and sinew, no cheating, don't give a fuck.
That's
I'm
good.
a prisoner of death. Hurt me more, snake.
They call me Frank Yeager. Jesus Christ. Wow. That was a
That's
choice
good.
moment.
What an opening.
I can tell you right here, right now, that's on Instagram.
Oh, for
This time,
sure on
3 weeks
Instagram.
from
Holy
now,
shit.
Or whatever.
Oh my god. Thank you for immediately giving me a clip at the top of the show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Real quick, one of the things that I want to do for this episode is, it is dawning on me how the fox in the Foxhound logo looks just like Jerry when Jerry is like leaning his head down.
That's the look Jerry gives me every time I walk over here.
Very weird. I've got the manual pulled up. I think what might be fun is as we encounter each of these bosses to just read their entry from the manual.
I agree.
Yes.
Also, real quick, that's not what Master Miller looks like.
Yeah, right?
Who the fuck who's this fucking sex pot? You know what I mean? That guy fucks, you know?
He
Yeah,
looks
Cass
like he
for sure
just
doesn't
got done
fuck.
fucking somebody. Like, that's good lord.
God damn it.
So anyway, let's so Ninja we have up here at the top says little is known about this quote cyborg ninja.
That's pretty fucked up.
And the description says he uses stealth camouflage and wields a Japanese katana that can cut through steel like butter and even deflect bullets.
Damn.
That's interesting that they don't mention that it's a high frequency blade, which is canonical. That's
Yeah.
why it's like connected to his body in this picture. I don't think it is in the game. But yeah, so let's Sam, do you mind talking to us a little bit about how Otacon and Snake come to be best friends forever?
Bromance time, baby. So after the battle happens, Hal comes out of his hidey hole, and then the two start talking about Metal Gear. And my favorite thing about this scene is like how Snake is like sitting with one leg crossed on like the table and one leg on the ground. Like he looks so weirdly comfortable.
He's like a cool health teacher.
Yeah. He was supposed to sit backwards in a chair, and that'll help him connect to teens. But Snake asks Hal what Metal Gear is for, and Hal is just like, it's meant to shoot down missiles. And Snake's like, nah, this thing's gonna fire a nuke, dude. And Hal's like really upset about that because it was never nobody told him what it was really for.
Classic Emmerich move.
And this is also when the classic fucking footage of Police Knots anime cutscenes plays while Hal talks about how he got into robotics because of anime, which is pretty neat. Which I think we touched on last episode.
Fucking nerd.
Fucking nerd.
Just say nerd.
But they're talking, and Hal mentions that they've run simulations, but that you can't use virtual data to test a nuke, and that you would need launch data, and that the test that they were doing at Shadow Moses before the terrorists took over was meant to get the launch data. He mentions that his grandpa was part of the Manhattan Project, and his dad was born the day the bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II, and he seemingly can't escape the destiny of being tied to nuclear weapons.
He admitted what a bitch his dad was, which was kind.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
He didn't admit shit. He just mentioned that his dad was born on the day the bombs were dropped, James. Holy shit.
Yeah, the fucked up dad stepmom shit is in the next game.
Yeah,
That's in 2.
it's true.
And he also mentioned so they talk a little bit more, and he mentions to Snake that Rex. I think is this the first time that they mentioned that his name is Rex? Or
I think
in the
so.
game so far?
I'm not sure.
He calls it Rex. In any case, he said Rex is being held in an underground base north of the comms tower, and that they haven't called him in a few hours. So that means that they must be ready to launch, and that they have to destroy it if they can't shut it down.
Yeah.
And then Snake is like, "Hey, dude, chill the fuck out, lie low." And he's like, "I got this stealth armor, so I'll be fine." And then he calls Meryl to look after Hal, but this is when she's spotted. And she mentions that she mentions that she's in disguise, but then she's spotted and she like runs and hides. And then Hal mentions to him that she has a cute way of walking, and that's how you find her. And that she is somewhere with music, and you need to contact her when she's alone.
Yeah, because you can hear the music over her Kodak call in the background. But yeah, so I mean, long story short, she is on the B1 floor of the building that we're in, and essentially what you have to do is be spotted by the right guard, which is tricky to say the least. Because
it was not for me, actually.
Oh, very nice.
Oh.
She does sway her hips like crazy.
I was going to say, you alluded to that I think in the first episode. We're like, you're going to want to remember this line later because it's going to come in handy in the gameplay.
Yeah. She sways her hips like craziness. But depending on what angle you're in the room, it's kind of hard to like get a beat on it. So like,
it's like there sure are polygons.
Yeah, you just got to stare at some butts in your first person view, I feel like.
So I don't know if it changes depending on what difficulty you're on, but I'm pretty sure in the area there are 3 guards, including her. So what I did was I took out the guard that was pissing, which is
he's in the men's room, right?
Yeah, he's in the men's room, and he's clearly not Meryl. So you take him out, and then you go into the I mean, unless Meryl has a shiwi, and then
I told you this is the point where Meryl whips her dick out.
Yeah, that's when she whips her dick out.
I've always said that.
But yeah, so once you take out him, it's easier because there's only 2 in the room, and you can kind of figure it out from there. And you just kind of like run in front of the person, and you'll get the like you've been spotted, and then she'll just run away.
Yeah, you don't get the alert, but she still does the exclamation point.
So I didn't actually have to get spotted. I don't
How do
know
you
if
mean?
maybe that was
What?
because of the difficulty that I was playing on. We won't name the difficulty, but I think I followed her into the bathroom, and I like went in right after, and then I went to the back stall, and her clothes were gone. Or I mean, they were splayed up on the stall. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm not sure if she. Yeah, I'm not sure if she can organically go to the bathroom if you wait, and maybe you can just follow her in
That's
then.
interesting.
maybe that's what I. Yeah.
But if you run into the bathroom quick enough, you can catch her before she puts her pants on.
Wow.
Get some sweet underpants action with her
dang.
Oh yeah.
polygonal booty.
Thanks, Kojima.
Yeah, Snake's got a really weird line in here too. I wrote it in my notes. He said, "You looked better off dressed like a man."
I like that. And it alludes to the genetics that he has in him. Where like some, Big Boss, he kind of wanted to fuck a man sometimes, and I think Snake's got a little bit of that in him as well.
Well, Otacons truly
Loves the
is true love,
battlefield.
so love can bloom on the battlefield. just
Sure,
not with
fucking
Meryl.
can.
Love can bloom in my friend's butt.
She says when you go to the back stall, she holds you up and says she can't believe that she got the drop on him again. But really, where the fuck was she hiding?
Yeah, she must have climbed up.
I was like, she must have, but like I was like right behind her, and she's just not around. It's just like you're
Yeah.
a superhero.
I would love to see the like no clip like thing where they show like the whole level from during the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Just see like where the devs hid her
Yeah.
for that moment. Like,
Oh yeah.
That would have been great.
But yeah, so essentially they have this discussion. Her
You
and
got
Snake,
a great butt.
her and Snake go back and forth. She's like, "Oh, I can't believe I snuck up on you," and Snake's like, "I'm just a normal guy," and she's like, "No, you're a hero." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's really laying it on thick.
Yeah, and Snake does his whole like, "All my friends are dead or in prison.
Great
We're not
line.
heroes." It's
like
super
you
ridiculous.
Fucking go to a bar and like say hello to somebody, man. Like chill out.
Yeah, he
Fucking
does.
weirdo.
He does reference her ass, and she's like, "Well, first I've got great eyes, and now I've got a good butt." And he's just like,
I don't know what it is, but it's like the use of the word butt in this scene just like rubbed me the wrong way.
it's like
It was
immediately
a
made it
little-
feel real dumb. And I
Yeah,
was like, "Ah."
this feels like very juvenile all of a sudden.
Yeah. So Meryl mentions she snagged the key card from Baker, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that mean
Yeah,
she
well, she
stole
gives-
it from him
she-
before we got that to Baker?
Yeah, well, Baker mentions that she
that's
has
right.
it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Cool. I couldn't quite remember.
She gives him the key, and he says that there should be 3 of them, but she says that the one is all that Baker had.
For sure. Meryl also talks about how her father died when she was younger. Spoiler, no, he didn't. It's Roy Campbell.
Oh,
Oh
Roy.
no.
Not revealed in this game, though. And then Meryl tells us about how they have to go through the commander's room to get through the caves to get to the comm towers because I guess there are glaciers blocking the other...
Yeah, Alaska with their glaciers.
Their random glacier epidemic.
It's tough to build a building around.
Yeah, couldn't suspend my disbelief. These days, there would not have been glaciers.
Too
Yeah.
true.
But yeah, so we have to go through the commander's room, and at that moment,
I want to mention really quick that that they debate over Meryl's Desert Eagle. And
Oh, that's
Snake
right.
tries to
Yeah.
get her to take the SOCOM
Yeah.
and give him the Desert Eagle.
Well, Snake also
And-
makes like a comment about the SOCOM that made no sense. He said, "Oh, so I happen to get the scraps in the armory or something."
Yeah.
Snake, you didn't get that gun from the armory, sir. You either found it in the back of a truck or it was sitting on the floor during the boss fight.
Yeah.
So what's that line?
You can get it in a room. You can get it in a room in the tank hangar at some point too.
Well, I found the SOCOM suppressor in a room in the tank hangar.
If you don't get it in the truck, the SOCOM's in the tank hangar somewhere, I think.
Gotcha.
Pretty sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
She also gives him a level 5 card that she is hiding in her bosom.
Yeah.
The embrace of her bosom, which she hides a lot of stuff in there.
for sure.
That's because women have more places to hide things than men.
And women don't have pockets on their clothes, so yeah.
You're giving
But
that
much like all people, they have prison wallets.
exactly.
Put it in the hot pocket.
Wow.
gross.
Jesus Christ.
Gross.
But yeah, so we come out of this cutscene. This game does this really cool thing, I guess, where like the letterboxing will kind of like lift away.
Yeah, I like that effect.
And so we're hanging out, and Meryl's like, "Where are all the guards?" And then Snake kind of point blank says like, "The music stopped,"
Yeah. Oh god, it's so creepy.
which makes me wonder:
Yeah,
was that music? Could they hear that music?
they had
Like
to.
elevator
so.
music.
That's very weird. Why is there music ambiently playing
It
on this
was
floor?
a weird. It gave me pause.
It will, like I mentioned this in the previous episodes, or one of the previous 2 episodes, that the sound design in the game is so good, but I think it's at its best when it's not using sound at all. Right here, when you're
Yeah.
expecting something, it's just so unsettling. Like the whole area is like really unsettling in general, like with the music, because the music's not like pleasant. Like it's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Oh, it's real creepy.
But without it, it just is like, oh, something bad's about to happen.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, it might be wrong, it might be right. On a night like tonight, chances are that I might detonation out of sight because I'm contemplating genocide. You know what I mean?
I'm losing my sight, losing my mind. Wish somebody would tell me I'm fine.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
I'm sorry. My mind just like spaced out because I was like, I need to continue to finish the lyrics to this song.
Thanks, Papa.
Classic.
Papa.
Oh no. Oh, Papa Roach definitely sounds like a foxhound.
Oh my God. Oh no. They call him Papa Roach. Watch out for him, Snake.
We have to use the lights to tease him out of his hiding spot.
That's like the secret boss.
Jesus Christ. All right, so Psycho Mantis.
Papa Manus.
We walk into this hallway, and Psycho Mantis kind of gives Meryl like a headache.
Yeah.
And then she kind of snaps into, I guess, for lack of a better way to frame this, being possessed.
Yeah.
The mixture of Meryl's voice with Psycho Mantis's mask sound
Yeah. It's creepy.
is horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, she calls Snake Mr. Foxhound.
Yeah, I love
And
that, by the way.
commander is waiting.
I love that.
Yeah. It's a weird. It's a neat detail. The mask sound, because it makes it.
I love that
if I
mask
remember
sound.
right, it kind of like makes it sound like she's like in the mask, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
weird. It
What-
weirded me out.
Yeah, it sounds like it's Psycho Mantis and her talking at the same time.
Yeah. It's a cool sound design piece for what it is. It freaked me out.
Yeah,
This
it's
whole
very
thing
good.
gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Well, I'm pretty sure the music starts back up again too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right
yeah,
around
it
this
does,
time.
yeah.
So they go into this commander room, which, by the way, is like really well detailed and pretty
a
cool.
dope room.
In the VR missions, they do a bunch of like murder mystery
Yeah.
missions in this room. And I definitely mean that like you're playing a Metal Gear Solid version of Clue,
Yeah.
which is exactly how it plays out. But there's this creepy Meryl stuff where she's trying to shoot you,
Yeah.
and we see like an invisible man floating around her.
Well, you're missing the worst part about this.
Oh
is
yeah,
that,
I'm
like,
sorry, I blocked
she-
it out of my mind because I was scarred
she
by
freaks
it.
out, and she then starts asking Snake if he likes her, and then demands for him to make love to her. And Snake
Yeah.
is
And she sounds like she's having an orgasm the entire time.
Pointing
Snake
a
is
gun at your head. It's very unnerving.
yeah. We have like there's like it's really awkward. Snake's really confused, and then you hear another voice, which is Psycho Mantis taunting him because for not liking girls. He's like, "What?
yeah,
You
he goes,
don't like girls?"
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very strange.
It's a shitty
But Campbell will call you after this and begs Snake not to use his weapon. And Naomi claims that the song is actually Psycho Mantis' mind control music, and that Meryl is under his control. And then Campbell's like, just knock her out.
Yeah.
And then a fun note here that I noticed is that if I call a bunch of people just to do it, if you call Miller, he'll mention that Snake is a master of unarmed CQB
Whoa,
in battle,
what?
and not CQC. Yeah,
Interesting.
close quarters battle and not close
I
quarters
like that.
combat.
Interesting.
So that's interesting.
I like that a
What-
lot.
What happens if
Crap battle.
what happens if you just like shoot Meryl?
So you can get.
game
I think
over?
you can get. It's like a
Game
non-standard
over.
game over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if you kill her, it does the game over thing. But I think it's Snake calling for Meryl or Roy calling for Meryl.
Wow.
What if you don't do anything? And does she shoot you?
Yeah,
I think she'll just kill you. She
Okay.
she
Damn.
shoots you a bunch with the Desert Eagle.
I never got to that point.
With the
Desert
Deagle. The Desert Eagle,
I,
which
um,
I believe you can never have in the game as the player.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a shame.
I accidentally choked her to death the first time.
Oh no, Sam.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to.
yeah. If you grab her and just like lightly hit the choke button a couple times, you can actually like make her unconscious pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Or you can just
Yeah.
throw her over your shoulder like I think 3 times.
Oh,
I
I was
always
just
just
punching
stun
her.
grenade. I don't know why. I always just
Yeah.
throw the stun grenade like right away.
I tossed her.
Nice.
I
But yeah,
didn't even think about stun grenade.
yeah. As soon as you do that, though, Psycho Mantis like comes out of being Mr. Heidi boy.
Right. Say, hey,
And, he gives us one of the most iconic moments in video games, like ever.
Yep.
So,
Let's,
can you guys explain something to me?
Yeah.
Sure.
In the briefing, and I did my homework. I watched
Wow.
the briefings.
Isaac, what'd you think?
Sweet boy.
It was like 20 minutes. No, it's nothing. Anyway, so
What? No, I don't know.
anyway, so in the file from Meryl, it said that she had some sort of psychotherapy or something to make her
Not like boys.
not like men or boys, if we will. How does she like eventually get out of that over the course of this, or does Snake have some sort of
Well,
like charm?
yeah. Well, and I think Meryl also mentions it during gameplay earlier on, where she's like, I don't know. She refers to like her sex drive being lowered for some reason, which is like another reason that possession was a little bit more unnerving, because it's like, you just
Right.
told me that this isn't you, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
She
that
like
they did that on
maybe
purpose.
it's like maybe it's like all the torture and like because she gets captured, after this point, and maybe it's like all the torture like weakened her like psyche, so she was able to like push
Love
past it.
again.
She was able to love again.
Well, but she's still pretty hardened in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah,
Like, she's pretty hardcore, like
Yeah.
no
they
romantic
re-up
feelings
those
ever.
nanomachines, bro.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, anywho, we should probably read the manual thing on Psychomantis before we get into the fight
Yes.
itself. Psychomantis in the manual, page 47, if you're reading along at home. A former member of the KGB's Psychic Intelligence Unit. He has powerful telekinetic and mind-reading abilities. Quick note for those who've played Metal Gear Solid 5.
I was just about to say.
don't think he was ever a member of the KGB.
I don't think he was either, and he used to have better hair.
Yeah, maybe he was a member of the KGB eventually. I don't know. Some of this stuff is legit. Some of it definitely gets retconned. Specifically, there is one thing I cannot remember offhand what the fuck it was. There was something like really crazy that I have in my notes that I was like, this 100% got retconned. But yeah. So, anywho, James, was this your first time experiencing the save file scene?
I feel like I had exposure to it in other ways, but it was my first time like actually going through it.
Did he comment on any of your save
No.
files?
No, which
Unfortunately, your memory is squeaky clean.
Yeah.
I got that, which like made sense because like this was the only thing I had played on the PS3 at the time I had played it, so it was like, yeah.
Nice.
So it was.
I
neat.
was a careless man because I died a lot in the nuke
Oh.
building.
Yeah, I got a comment about like not saving much. I think.
Yeah, I don't. Since I was playing this, and we can
Reckless.
talk about the weird way that I was playing this. Since I was playing this on an emulator with save states, I hadn't saved at all.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh shit!
Yeah.
Like, why are you not saving?"
Yeah.
He was like
I'm a
concerned for you.
prudent
He's
man.
like, "Are you okay? You good, bro?"
Yeah.
You fine? You need help?
But I didn't get any of the save file stuff. Apparently, if specifically with the Japanese version of the game, he references a whole bunch of Kojima games that obviously never came out in the States, like Snatcher, Police Knots.
that's neat.
I think something else. I can't remember. But if you have those games, he'll actually say like he can say in the U.S. version, "Oh, you like Konami games."
Yeah.
But in the Japanese version, he can say, "Oh, you're a fan of Kojima," which is pretty cool. But like, I don't think there's any way to get that to trigger unless you.
It's interesting.
I don't know if they even recorded the line.
I wish that there was like a
Maybe they did.
It somehow recognized that you were on an emulator. It's like, oh, I see that you like to cheat.
Oh, I see that you're pirating video games.
I'm calling the FBI.
No.
And then he takes off his mask and like kneels down and like has like a moment. Hey, I'd like to talk to you about piracy.
That'd be fucking amazing. But yeah, and real quick, just to let everybody know. So I have a canonical playthrough on my PS3, but I'm also doing a Let's Play on my Mac. But I'm also emulating from some old save files that I had for dicking around on my PC. And so I've got like save files from the end of the game that I played on my PS3. I'm playing early parts of the game over again on the Let's Play, and then on my PC, I've got like save files sporadically from all over the game.
Yeah.
So like, I don't have a consistent playthrough for this season. It's just literally everywhere, all over.
I feel like you're playing this game like it's the plots of Memento. Like,
dude, 100%. I feel like a drunk person remembering the night before.
You should play it backwards.
Yeah. So I apologize if I say something slightly out of order. It's because like the time that I had to play games the last few weeks has been fucking all over the place.
Yeah.
So apologies if I get anything wrong, but yeah. So needless to say, the save file scene would not have worked for me either because I was playing on an emulator. So also didn't get the controller thing. James, can you tell us about the controller?
Oh
thing?
yeah. So he like. He's getting a little antsy about his fucking powers, and she's got like some sort of complex, I guess. So he's like, "Fine, yeah, put your controller on the floor, and I'll show you the power of my telekinesis or whatever." And then you put the controller on the floor, and the controller starts vibrating, so it like starts moving if it's on a flat surface. And I was like, "That's cute. I like that."
It's a pretty hardcore vibration.
It's a very hardcore
Yeah,
vibration.
it's really aggressive. I love the like swap on this in the MGS4 if you have just a normal 6-axis because they didn't have rumble from the start with the PS3.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
That's
that.
yeah,
weird.
so in MGS4 he flips the fuck out if you.
yeah.
Well, I think
I don't
this
think
was one of the first few games that had rumble, so it was pretty revolutionary at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. And while we're talking about Rumble, I just want to like on par with the sound and the atmosphere of this game,
Yeah.
whoever designed the Rumble did an exquisite job.
Yeah.
Because there's like little micro rumbles and like it rumbles like I don't know, it
Love
just
a good
it
micro
does
rumble.
such a good job
Yeah.
of kind of
The-
keeping you in the scene.
Yeah. The rumble it goes a long way, like in games in general, like.
Oh yeah.
That controller and the way that they've designed that.
Yeah, the
cool
GTA
shit.
5 Rumble whenever you drive over the side of the lane
Yeah.
marker
Oh,
on
yeah.
the road.
Yeah, it's
Love
great.
it. Love it to death. Anyway, let's talk about this boss fight. So I guess in order of newcomer to oldest people, James, would you like to tell us about how your boss fight went?
It went. I fucked up a lot. Like I killed Meryl a bunch.
Oh no!
Meryl died a lot, which sucked. So it just like took me a while to like figure out the flow of it. But once I got the flow of it, like I'm kind of bobbing and weaving and making sure that Meryl didn't get too hurt and making sure that I'm fucking homeboy up. I feel like I had grenades during it, and I used the grenades when I shouldn't have, and that fucked me up more.
Nice.
So it was like weirdly hard.
Does Meryl only? Well, so did you do the trick?
What trick?
So did you get a codec call about the controller situation?
I don't think so.
Oh
Okay,
dang!
Oh fuck!
So
You played on hard mode.
yeah, so Psycho Mantis will deflect everything you throw at him unless you change the port that the controller is assigned.
Yeah. So I ended up looking that up eventually.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I got a codec call about it though.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
okay.
so. Roy, if you don't do it for long enough, Roy just point blank will
Yeah.
call you and be like, "Try plugging your controller into port 2, Snake."
Yeah.
But I think it takes a really long time.
Yeah. I don't think I ended up getting that. I think it got to the point where like I paused it and like looked it up.
Yeah, you can still. I think technically you can still beat him. I believe.
Yeah, you
like I don't
can.
think he's invincible.
Yeah.
but I think
yeah,
it's
he
just
was definitely
immensely
taking damage,
harder.
but it was like this is fucking hard.
Yeah,
And it felt like unreasonably hard for how everything else had gone. So I just got fucked up for a long time.
yeah.
Yeah. If you to switch the controller, if you press it on the PS3 version,
Yeah.
if you press the PlayStation button, you go to controller settings, and you can reassign the port.
Right.
In the settings
Yep.
there.
Which like it's cool that they kept that in.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like this whole fight would be like fucking broken if that wasn't.
Yeah.
I remember playing it back in the day on an actual PS1. It was really cool to just like be like, oh man, he can read my mind, and then just like the weird connection of like, wait a minute,
He's fucking with my system.
let me just change the controller, and then he has no idea what you're doing,
Yeah.
which I thought was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So I wonder what kind of back end has to happen with the tech for them to be able to be like, in this one moment, the controller will still control you.
So
if
after, because I can't remember. So after the fight, and maybe it's different on the PS3, but like, you have to change it back, don't you?
I think so. I can't recall.
I think
Yeah.
you'll just say, "Hey, you can change it back now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, and at least on the PS3, it didn't let me do shit until I changed it back
Oh, really?
Yeah.
after
Okay.
the battle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
just
what I
what
would
I'd
say. Yeah, I think it's like that even with the original PS1 hardware. I
Yeah.
think it just like the inputs
That's
don't work
interesting.
anymore. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, because that's like the inputs don't stop. Because you can still fucking fuck with them and fight them, and it's just hard.
yeah.
Yeah. I do wonder. I'm thinking through like the tech back end. Like that's interesting.
Yeah.
How they did that.
Did you guys have the thermal goggles at this point?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm trying to remember where the fuck I found them. I think
It was in one
Are
of
you
the.
talking about The night vision or the thermal?
No, the
thermal.
thermals, the red.
Oh yeah, thermal would have been in the tank hanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you didn't get it at a certain point, it changed
the
to
camera, right?
Axis level 4 or something, which you don't have the key to yet. You didn't have the key to at the time. So if you didn't pick it up early enough, you wouldn't be able to get it. And I guess I never backtracked to get it.
Yeah, I think in order to get night vision goggles, you have to open the gas doors in the Otacon hallway, I think. I believe it's one of those.
sounds
The
right.
body armor's in there too.
Yeah.
which
I
is like a
feel
real
no.
pro.
The night vision goggles are in the conference room, outside of the commander's room.
Oh, that's right. You're totally right. It's in that little it's in one of those rooms down there. Kind of where you get the Nikita, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
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 But the
That sounds
body
right.
armor is also in the gas chamber room, which is
Yes.
super helpful.
That is correct.
So if you don't get it there, I think you end up having to get it. I don't know where. I think it's in the. I can't remember. It's way further in the game though, like way further in the game.
Yeah. Are we talking about the night vision goggles or the thermal
I
goggles?
was talking about the body armor. For a
Oh, the
second.
body
Sorry.
armor.
Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, did you? I completely forgot about the Hideo video input
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
signal jamming that happens in the
Yeah.
middle. Every time that happens, I'm very much so like, what?
Yeah.
Because it lasts longer than you kind of want it to.
Hey, it's like not 3 or 4 seconds, but it feels like it's 3 or 4
It's
seconds.
enough for it to be like, oh, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, something's wrong again.
Right.
And I couldn't
Like
quite...
it was super terrifying when you're a kid because that's just what TVs did.
Yeah.
And things
Yeah.
turned
I can't imagine
Yeah.
playing this fight as a kid and just crying. Like I'm breaking
God.
everything.
Yeah, it's great. I think I was trying to figure out, and I couldn't quite see where the seams were. When it cuts to that screen, you're not able to be hurt during that moment, are you? Because every time it cut
wasn't
back,
hurt.
I noticed that Psycho Mantis was in a different part of the room.
Yeah.
So I don't think he can attack you while the.
Thank God.
I think it's just scare tactics.
Yeah. It works.
But yeah, Sam, did you have anything you want to add to what James and Isaac said?
Not really. No. I was at a sliver of life with no rations by the end of the battle because I couldn't for whatever reason I couldn't not get hit by shit.
Yeah, I was in the same boat.
The last part of the battle where he's throwing all the furniture around in the tornado, if you lay on the ground, it won't hit you. You can just stand up and shoot him and then lay back down, and that's how I survived.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, I enjoy this. We can talk about the differences in the Twin Snakes because it's wild and out of control in the Twin Snakes when we get to that. But yeah, this is a fun fight, and then we get to have a conversation with Psycho Mantis afterwards.
It's a real sad
I love
conversation.
I love that Meryl takes off his mask and audibly goes, "Oh, gross."
I know. How fucking rude is that shit? It's like, dude, he's dying.
Yeah,
And now you're going to make him feel bad about himself? For fuck's sake, Meryl.
I do love that. Before he dies, he asks her to put it back on
Yeah.
Yeah, that made me
so he can be alone.
weirdly emotional.
Yeah,
When,
Yeah.
just the whole I can't
Well, he
block
brings
out the
up-
thoughts of others unless I have
Yeah.
that mask on. It's like, oh, that's sad.
yeah.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Sam.
Yeah, the whole thing, he first discovered his powers when he was a kid, and he read his dad's mind, and his dad wanted
His
to
dad
kill
hated him because yeah,
he
Yeah.
killed his mother in childbirth or something like that, and it just became
Which even with the things that we know about games that are coming up, this could still have happened.
Yeah.
I did like the little touch where he said when he woke up the village was on fire. I was
Yeah.
like, is that because somebody was there
Yep.
with you?
Yep. I had a
Um,
similar thought.
But yeah, it was good. I like it. He talks a lot about how him and Snake are the same because they
Yeah.
have no past or future. They're
Yeah.
just kind of crazy. But Snake takes it, I think, all romantically at first. He's like, oh yeah, we are badasses. But
Yeah.
then Psycho Mantis is like, no. I mean, you're a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
he tells Snake
That's the read.
that compared to him, he's not so bad.
I know. What a fucking harsh drop for him to leave before he dies. The stage just kind of takes it in stride. He's like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
He
Well,
also
Meryl in
mentions
this
that
moment
he-
is like, you're
Yeah.
what's happening? You're both sick.
Yeah.
yeah. He also mentions to Snake that Meryl has a large place in his heart, in her
Yeah.
heart.
You
for
read
him,
her
but
mind.
that but he's not sure if their futures lie together.
I think Snake does my favorite, her heart. Or he's like a large place.
Well, and
What's a heart?
while this thing all sounds warm and cuddly to the listeners at home, we can't forget that it literally ends with Meryl calling Snake a sad, lonely man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like when
Snake
you
does
get
not
But like,
see-
who needs her when he's got his hetero life
true.
partner, Hal Emmerich?
That's
like,
true.
Of course.
You know?
incredibly true. I like that, like how long they make you wait to actually see his face before they put the mask back on, and then you just kind of see it from an angle, and it's like, oh, I get what Meryl's getting at.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah, and Psychomantis also says, I think Snake asks if he could see his future or something, and Psychomantis is like, a strong man doesn't need to read the future, he creates his own. Or no, Snake says that to Psychomantis.
Yeah.
But Psychomantis, which I thought was super funny, Psychomantis is like, let me get the door for you, and it opens like this secret bookshelf
Yeah.
door, and then he goes, that's the first time I've ever helped anyone with my powers.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I
Yeah,
was like,
which-
you've been helping a lot of bad people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was
That's still helping.
like, just because you're doing a bad thing doesn't mean you're not helping somebody.
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
This fucking guy, he's just like, he never agreed with Liquid's vision, but he just wanted to kill as many people as possible. And that's
Yeah,
why he's,
and
all on board.
boy, did I have questions.
Though I will say, I think Psychomantis' motivation, I'm not trying to agree with the guy, but like the fact that he's dove into so many fucked up people's minds, like he's probably just like, everyone sucks, and
Yeah.
let's just
Well,
end the
it
pain.
it makes me wonder too, like, and we'll get into this in future episodes, I'm sure, but like when the flip with him and Liquid happened, like this dynamic that they have now, like how it all came to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have known. We
Could've
will
known.
never know. Naomi also puts Snake on blast via Kodak and talks mad shit about like, yeah, you do like to kill people, you motherfucker. And we'll find out why she's so mad.
Yeah.
Not very soon, but
it's
soon.
relatively near future.
Not on this episode. I
Not on
don't
this
think.
episode though.
But yeah, so then after that, Snake does his like pump up, psych up pose,
Yeah.
and beefs his health up.
Choop, choop, choop.
And then don't forget to check the right side of the staircase as you leave, because there's a bunch of goodies. And I'm just now realizing,
Including rations, if you're like me and had none at the end of this battle.
yeah, I'm just now realizing it. This room is very Resident Evil reminiscent.
Oh yeah, like the color scheme, the layout
Yeah,
of
the
it.
music.
It's very.
Yeah, interesting. Also, I was telling James about this before we started recording. The way that you scavenge ammo, and it seems like you always happen to just find some right as you've run out,
Yeah.
is very like survival horror feeling. So I think that's why this game always feels kind of scary to
Game
me.
is scary.
But then Snake joins the cave dogs.
Dude, I got my ass whooped by these cave dogs.
Yeah, let's do this.
These things are freaky.
Just got fucking lit up by the cave dog.
Yeah, these guys are nuts. I always am so quick to get the fuck in and out of this.
Yeah.
Like, so quick. So like
Yeah,
I know
I
where the
just
hole
run.
is and everything. I just like get over there, crawl, get the fuck out.
Yeah. Smart.
This is when Snake tells Meryl that he's a dog musher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Weird.
Because she says that they're wolves, and he goes, "No, they're half husky, half wolf." Fucking
"They're
bitch!
wolf
Like, whoa, dude.
Yeah, Snake likes to mansplain to people, but not as bad as Mei Ling likes to mansplain to people about the quotes that she reads
Yeah,
when
boy,
you say
does
it. Because she'll read the quote and then she'll be like, okay, so what that means is, and I'm just like, wow.
Never adjust your sandals in a watermelon patch. Now, what that means is you have to
Yeah.
keep going where you're going.
I love Mei
Thanks,
Ling.
Mei Ling.
Speaking of Mei Ling, checking on our instruction manual, Mei Ling, page 45, operator in charge of communication, data processing for this operation. She invented the codec communicator that Snake uses. This
With
chick,
existing technology, pre-existing technology. Don't forget.
Mei Ling, I don't know why this happens all the time, because between Chun-Li and Mei Ling, anyone with Chinese hereditary
Yeah.
in video games just has the thickest thighs in the world.
It's alright.
Like, her legs are just thigh. Also, I don't understand how she's wearing this short skirt, because it is like an
Yeah,
inch
what's-
away from showing her
I
vagina.
was gonna say, like, what is
Thigh
this?
gaps are way overrated.
No,
Just saying.
no, totally. I agree with you. Like, let's show humans proportion the way they are in real life. I'm just saying her clothes look like if she sneezes, you're gonna see her ass.
She kind of looks like she's like the strippergram of a communications professional. Just
Yeah,
like,
she
if that's your
100% looks
fetish,
like-
like the mailing is what you
Yeah,
get.
military officer coming out of a cake is what this uniform says. But anyway, I just wanted to make that quick comment.
That's true.
Get that in there. If you get attacked by the dogs, my favorite thing is when you find Meryl with the little wolf pup at the end.
Yeah.
She goes, Snake, what's wrong? I thought you were good with dogs.
Yeah.
Which is quite good. But yeah, I did beeline it to where I needed to be, but I tried to fuck around with the box because there's a trick. You can get the dogs to pee on your box.
Yeah.
And if they
Makes
pee on
it
your box,
safe.
like they're all
Yeah.
good.
They're like, oh, he's one of me.
However, I was trying to do that and fucked up and definitely got like punched by a dog, and then punched the dog back.
It's
And
like the Princess Mononoke, like
yeah,
yeah.
pretty much.
They have a really like crazy charge up for their attacks. It's really easy to not get attacked by them.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they're also
I'm just
super
saying.
fucking durable.
Have a heart.
Yeah.
because like you can beat on them and shoot them, and it takes forever for them to die,
And they're scary.
like real dogs. No, I'm kidding.
They're scary.
So,
Alessio.
I'm joking.
if
Jerry's not in the room, all right?
Oh,
Frank's not either, so
oh
Sweet
man.
baby Frank.
Interesting.
Wait a minute,
Anyway.
are they together right now?
whoa, calm down. I was just going to explain to the listeners, if you don't know how this trick works, you punch Meryl in front of the dogs. And
Did you do this?
What?
Isaac?
that's how you get it.
So
And then
you punch
switch
Meryl in front of the dogs and you switch to the box.
to a
right?
box, and then the dog will pee on the box.
Yeah. See, my problem was I was trying to trigger the dogs to pee on the box before getting to Meryl.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I falsely remember this. Let's try it. And then
And they attack you.
Yeah. I was like, all right.
Holy shit.
And then we go through this door and we deal with Meryl's mine walk. You can literally just like crawl straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You either crawl straight. I just put on the fucking thermal goggles and just collected them all.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually followed her footsteps for this playthrough though, because
She,
I like doing it.
Same.
She says that when Mantis hopped into her mine, she could see where the mines
Oh,
were
yeah.
placed. And she
Very
started
odd.
walking in this weird zigzag pattern, and I was like, I knew it wasn't gonna be because I played the game before, but I was really hoping she'd walk in like a penis pattern because it started looking like a dick.
Oh
for it.
no!
Oh my god.
There's like veins and everything.
But yeah,
Yeah,
you proceed, and
Yeah.
you
and then
get
this
to
enemy
a
at the gates
scene.
ass scene happens, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, don't no.
You're proceeding, and when you join Meryl, you're in a cutscene, and she is in a series of crosshairs, and then shot by a sniper twice,
So good.
and then again when she tries to go for her gun.
Yeah, I was rewatching this scene before we recorded today because I was like, I have to be remembering this wrong. When I went through it, for some reason, the way that I like process the scene in my brain is that she gets shot in the thigh once and is immediately turns to Snake and goes, "Kill me!" Like, I don't know why I
she gets
remembered
shot.
it like that, but she got shot a bunch.
Yeah, she got shot three
like,
times.
She was like, "Take my gun and kill me. I can't reach it." And I was like, "She's hardcore."
Yeah. Yeah,
Which is-
Meryl is like, you have to kill me, and she realizes that Snake is that Sniper's using Snake, like using her to lure Snake out, and that she says that she's a fool and that war is ugly and not glamorous, and she begs Snake to leave her, not abandon people.
Yeah.
It's super interesting to me because both Meryl and the Genome soldiers in the instruction booklet, and that's page 44 and page 48 respectively, it specifically mentions that none of them have any actual battle experience. They've just been through VR simulations.
That's interesting.
So Meryl's pain tolerance is
Yeah, not great.
non-existent.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, it hurts so bad." She's like, "I thought I would go into shock, but I didn't. This hurts."
My favorite thing ever is Naomi is on the codec call after because you have to console Roy, who's like freaking the fuck out. I don't know why I'm calling him Roy on this episode, not Colonel Campbell, but we're on first name basis. And my favorite is Naomi jumps in and she's like, "Oh, Sniper Wolf, I know her."
Yeah,
Like literally direct quote, she just says, "I know her."
I know her.
And it really cracked me up. She sounds very excited. She's like,
yeah.
"Oh, that's my girl. What is she doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, tell her I said hey.
I love her green hair.
Oh yeah, that green hair,
Okay, Sam.
beautiful.
Don't care.
Hey, I'm looking at the manual. She definitely looks like she's got some green
Yeah,
hair.
that's true. I agree with that. It is what it is.
She for sure has blonde hair and twin snakes. Like that's not even debatable. But
I can see it.
But anyway, Snake says he's gonna save Meryl whatever it takes, and Naomi's like real surprised about that.
Oh, I know, dude. Naomi is just throwing the passive aggressive shade.
Naomi's a
Yeah.
real asshole. You know, it's like, hey, you're not out here.
It's the turtleneck.
It's definitely the turtleneck.
This is a turtleneck. Naomi's like really surprised by that, but she says that he says that he doesn't need an excuse to save her. He's going to do it for himself, and then she apologizes to him actually. And then
Yeah,
we
she's
get
very
to
surprised.
backtrack.
Yeah. Yeah, this is somewhat uneventful. I didn't have anything really. I don't think anything really happens unless you guys have notes stating otherwise. Do you guys want to just
No.
say we get the PSG one and then we come back?
Yeah, we go back
Yeah.
through the commander's room, nuke building, back through the canyon where you fought the tank, which is filled with claymores. So you
that's
gotta
right.
be
Yeah,
way
it's
more
fucking
careful.
Claymore City.
They turn the lasers in the tank hangar like bay off, so you don't have to
Yeah.
deal with those anymore.
Very nice.
And then you
yeah, that's about it. It's just in one of the rooms in the B2 of the.
yeah.
of
When
the
you
tank hangar.
it's worth checking around in here because you have access now with your cards that you have access to all of the rooms in the armory now. If you can get everything. And you also like get the PSG one in this like really weird laser grid room. It's like very complicated and you have to go at it at an angle. It's very weird, but
Yeah, that was the one thing I was not a big fan of because I like to play this game with a D-pad. Not an analog boy when it comes to the
Yeah.
top-down Metal Gears, and kind of sucks for this one part. So, anyway, but yeah, so we find ourselves back at the Sniper Wolf area. This time, Meryl's body is gone. There's just some blood.
It's weird.
I just threw on the Therm Gs, took some diazepam, which you can find in one of the holes with the wolves, and pulled out the PSG one, and just kind of did not have a problem whatsoever.
Fired
with
away.
this.
Yeah.
yeah, it's super easy to this one with Wolf is like it's super easy to not get fucked up.
Yeah, I had to
This one.
cheese the second one the way that Sam, I think, always used to do it in order to get through the second portion.
Well, I had a fucking hell of a time with the second one. Because,
Yeah,
so
we'll
with
save
this,
it
so
when we get
we'll
there.
talk about that.
Sam, can you hit me with this theory that you have about this Mei Ling save thing again? Because I completely forgot about it, but I made note because you asked me if it prompts you to save.
Yeah,
so
so
I
I,
did
was
not-
trying to
I
figure
was
out
not
because
hit
this
with
is
that.
I read this article and I took it in my show notes, but there's this article like it's an article like it's a thread somebody posted on Resetra about, and this is like they're talking about how it immerses the player through the torture sequence, and the argument is that the torture sequence really starts here after this battle. Because as you go forward, because the saving has always been something that you did like by choice, and as you move forward in this area, I didn't like I saved immediately because I'm a crazy person, but apparently if you walk forward far enough before you get to the door where they ambush you, Mei Ling calls you, and prompts you to save. Which is the first time it's ever happened in the game, and it kind of is weird and foreboding a little bit. So I wasn't sure. Like, I didn't get a chance to try that out, so I'm not sure if that's actually true or not. But like, if it is, that's actually really like.
Yeah, I
could
didn't get
say
prompted.
I didn't get prompted either.
I didn't either.
Okay, so I'm not sure then. I don't know.
I mean, it's a cool theory.
It would be cool.
I do have somewhat of a similar theory for the second disc episode when we get to it, but
I mean,
Yeah,
I did
interesting.
read that to save here before you trigger the cutscene, just because if you don't get through the torture, you have to go all the way back to I don't know where.
Yeah, if you die in the torture, like it does, you can't continue.
like
you have to go.
if you
back
die in
to
the
most
torture, you die
recent
for
save.
real.
Yeah.
For real, yeah.
Yeah,
you have to go
Ocelot
back
does
to the
straight
last
tell
time
you
you
that.
saved.
He does. He's like,
Yeah.
there's no game over here, boy.
Yeah,
So
we'll
if
get to
you
that here
don't
in a second.
submit, yeah.
The other two things about this part that I thought were interesting is that if you call Otacon at all during this ordeal, you can tell like something's real up with him in regards to Wolf.
Oh yeah.
And if you call him after you beat her, he picks up, but he doesn't say anything and then just hangs up.
Yeesh.
Like father, like son.
And then if you climb up to the second floor where she was, you'll notice that there's a trail of blood that goes down the stairs. But Wolf is of course missing.
Where is she?
Oh no. Yeah, this fight's a real pain in the ass in Twin Snakes. We'll cover it in that, but like there are just so many more additional obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretty sure there are like birds just like posted
Birds.
up.
Oh,
So
Birds.
which fucking sucks because you
know.
throw in the thermals and I kept getting distracted by birds
Yeah,
because I was like, oh, there she is, and I'm like, nope, it's definitely a bird.
it's a bird.
Which is really irritating. Or it's rats, I think. It's one of the two, but we'll cover that in episode 95. If you're listening to this in the beginning of the feed, you've got a long way to go. My favorite thing in the whole wide world is so Snake goes to the little door where you're supposed to be going, except you get cornered by a bunch of these, like, what are they called? They're like heavy armor troops or heavy... Let me look at the instruction manual. They are, heavily armed troops. We get surrounded by them. They look a little different than the Arctic warfare troops that we've been seeing. And Sniper Wolf comes up and she marks Snake, says that she always gets her mark or whatever.
Yeah.
She always kills her prey.
She's a real creep.
And she says that she will not stop thinking about Snake until they meet again.
That's kind of nice.
But Snake straight up says the most fucking Escape from New York thing ever. She's like,
Yeah.
try not to die, like in the torture room or whatever. And Snake goes, I'll die after I kill you.
Such a good line.
And I was just like, oh my God.
Such a good line.
But
Thank
essentially,
Thank you, Jeremy Blaustein.
yeah, so this, I feel like it's got to be like straight up a quote from Snake Plissken.
I don't see how it can't be. You know, like that's
Um,
definitely somebody said.
the torture room, you won't really realize until after the torture is over, but it's happening right across the hall from where the DARPA chief was.
Yeah,
Yep.
weird.
Which
I like how like all kind of circles back.
Yeah, which sucks because then you also have to then backtrack again
A bunch,
to
yeah.
get back to the
Those
compound.
fucking glaciers.
But we go into this torture sequence with a really cool like first person cutscene at the beginning where we hear Ocelot talking to
Yeah, I like 'cause you're
Liquid.
just like you're looking up at the lights from
Yeah.
first person, and
Yeah.
they're just talking mad shit in the background.
One of the
Yeah.
things we didn't mention last episode that James and I discovered while we were doing a Let's Play
Yeah.
is Raven during the sequence with the tank refers to Ocelot as Colonel Ivan.
Colonel Ivan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, who's
I
Ivan?
don't know.
Is it like a torturer reference, like Ivan the Torturer?
I kind of feel like it was.
Oh.
I feel like it was a translation problem.
Yeah.
Or like maybe they like. I don't know. Maybe they were originally.
Maybe it
gonna call
was just
Ocelot
like
something else.
a rib, like, oh, you're Russian, Ivan.
Maybe yeah, because that isn't that Gerlukovich's first name? Or no, it's Sergei.
Sergey, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Anyway, so we're in this torture
Yeah.
sequence. We get our two men talking to each other. You get to overhear a ton of it until one of them just goes, "Hey, boss, he's awake."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh yeah, we should stop talking about the plan."
Yeah, yeah, right.
Before you wake up, however, we learn that the DARPA chief they were unable to get the code from the DARPA chief,
Yep.
which is contrary to what we had heard,
Yep.
because apparently he was reinforced with hypnotherapy from, I guess,
Yeah.
his nanomachines or something, like prevented him from.
I don't know, but I'm glad that they lean into the hypnotherapy here. I was like, yes, I've heard this story before.
Yeah. And also, Liquid Snake gets a title card for the first time in the
Yeah.
game.
Yep.
So this is our first introduction to him.
James Flinders.
Good for him.
My
definitely
favorite
not, definitely
fake
not
name.
his name. Yeah.
Good old fake name, James Blunt.
But yeah, there's plenty of evidence here to support that the real DARPA chief definitely died during torture.
Yeah.
We'll explicitly be told that at the beginning of Disc 2,
Yeah.
but you can pretty much piece it together
Yeah.
during this.
Yeah. At this point, yeah. So Sniper Wolf is in the room now too.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all talking, and Liquid's like he's the one who stole my birthright, and that it was finally time for them to meet, and that they also
Fucking
need Snake's
baby.
DNA to help them fix the genome soldiers.
Yeah, it
and
won't cure them, but it'll like postpone
Yeah.
like the genome sickness because they
until
still
they
need
can get
Big Boss.
Big Boss's DNA.
Yeah. Raven calls Liquid Snake on a fucking flip phone, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
Which Liquid Snake's like, what? My Hot Pockets aren't done? And then he like has to dip out. But just the thought of Raven using a flip phone is like the funniest mental image.
Oh, yeah.
I love the idea because he's like so big, and like it'd just be like really like it's just
Be tough to dial those buttons.
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
my prepaid plan goes like the way of the hog.
Put minutes on my phone.
I must use all my minutes, for they do not roll over like the hedgehog in the night.
As we the Sioux people say, we do not have any time weekends.
As the Sioux people say, night and weekends after 9 p.m.
I love it.
Alcatel's $10 a minute.
Oh no! Real quick, we get a nice appearance from Pervert Camera, the character, which is nuts. Even here with the fucking pixel perfect. Like I gotta squint from halfway across the room to even think of any of this as looking like human.
Yeah.
But the camera is still just like, hey, check out Sniper Wolf's chest as she's leaving.
It's like, you know what that is, little boy.
And I'm like, Snake's not even on that side of the room.
Yeah.
Like, how are you explaining this camera
This
placement?
is the biggest reoccurring character in Kojima's games is this camera operator.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Well,
that
Ocelot
they gave him his
points it
humble
out.
origin.
Yeah, can we talk about how Ocelot still has a bloody stump that he is not keeping well bandaged whatsoever?
It's just
My
it's
head!
gross. He's like fucking waving it around like he's got no issues, and it's like, dude, I just want Liquid to be like, Ocelot, just put it away.
You gotta not, dude. What do
I
you-
just want a Liquid to be like, is part of your torture going to be rubbing your wound all over Snake's
Ew.
face?
Listen,
Real talk, Sam.
Listen,
editing
Revolver.
the previous episode when you asked me to cue the my hand, and I
Oh,
found the
God.
clip, I died.
Oh,
Yeah, I listened to the episode back. It's so fucking funny. It's literally like it's so.
He's
it's
like, I'm
something-
Twirly McBadman, and then
Ah,
he
my
gets his hand
hand!
cut. And he's like, oh no, my hand.
It's like it's the way that I explained it. It's like they weren't getting the right take from him. So what they did was in the recording room, they just hit his hand with a hammer, and then they just used that take. And that's what it was.
If we ever get Jeremy Blaustein on the episodes, we absolutely have got to ask him what the fuck happened.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Oh man. Oh, real quick fun
but yeah,
fact,
they-
which I 100% should have mentioned sooner. I just wanted to make mention. If you follow us on Twitter, you definitely saw images of this. I think there are 52 ghosts on Shadow Moses. It might be 43.
Jeez.
It's somewhere in that area. Somebody like up-resed all the photographs. I didn't
Yeah.
realize Scott Dolph and Jeremy Blaustein have ghosts that you can take
fucked up.
pictures of in the game,
Oh, weird.
Scary.
which is weird. Also, Kojima's haircut in his ghost,
It was weird. Interesting haircut.
Flawless.
Bring it back.
quite good.
Start the GoFundMe.
But anyway, yeah, Sam, tell us what this hey, we see you're playing a video game. Why don't you play this other video game for a second? Tell us about this second
Yeah.
video game that we're going to be playing.
Holy shit. So, yeah, there's just like, well, there's a lot of stuff here that happens before you even, because Snake wakes up and then they talk about more stuff. Liquid gets his call on the flip phone, and the Pentagon hasn't given in to demands, and they're going to launch the nuke in 10 hours, and he leaves, and then Wolf leaves to feed her family.
We see the cleavage.
We see the cleavage. They mentioned that the ninjas killed 12 men. It must be some kind of lunatic. Which is like, those are rookie numbers, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're dealing with Psycho Mantis here. Come on.
Yeah, and then and then they also say they need to figure out what killed Octopus and Baker.
Yeah.
And that's the first hint. Is like, what killed Octopus? Who the fuck is Octopus? Like, that was your first hint that like something's up.
Yeah, I do want to lay claim real quick. We have said countless times throughout the history of the show that Decoy Octopus is the unseen member
Yeah.
of Foxhound.
You totally
see
see
his fucking face.
Yeah.
In disc 2, when we deal with Raven coming up, there's just straight up a shot of Decoy Octopus's face.
Yeah.
Like
Looks-
in engine
looks fun.
face. So just wanted to let that
Looks
Metal Gear
Looks like a
myth
handsome boy.
busted.
yeah.
Or girl. So real quick, we never talked about it. Decoy Octopus in the instruction manual says very little is known about him/her ?
Yep. We don't really know.
So anyway, it's a
My
bat.
favorite part about this scene is that Wolf comes up before she leaves. Wolf comes up to Snake and tells him, like, essentially says that Meryl's still alive, calls him handsome, and then as she's leaving, Ocelot like whistles. He goes,
Oh, what?
Once he
I
picks
didn't
a
recognize
target,
that
she
at all.
doesn't think about anything else.
I didn't notice a whistle.
Yeah.
Fuck, I must have like not paid attention.
He's a real fucking weirdo in this game.
Yeah.
Not sure. This is very jarring for me.
You mean Shalashaska?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Shashka, yeah. So Ocelot asked Snake about the optical disc that Baker gave him and said if there are no copies, it's fine. And then asked him what the trick behind the PAL keys is. And Snake goes, hell if I know. And then Ocelot says it's time to play a game. And he explains the rules of the torture game, and don't even think about using auto fire, or he'll know.
Yeah, I wonder. So if you're listening to this episode, I don't know if you have time to write in before the listener response episode. However, if anybody has any experience of playing this game with an auto firing,
I already know
turbo
how
mode.
this shakes out.
Yeah, what happened?
So the game tracks if you're gaining life faster than if you're losing life, and if it notices that that's happening, it'll just kill you.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah, it'll just.
What if you're just really good at mashing the button
I was
really
gonna say,
fast?
it's like auto fire being like if you got like a turbo controller, like something
Yeah.
crazy like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so you have to press the circle button repeatedly to gain your strength back, to regain your life. You can press select to submit, but if you submit, he's going to kill Meryl, essentially. And if you die, you do not get to try again. You don't get to continue. You have to load your last save. So if you were not saving every 5 seconds like me, and like the last time you saved was like right before the Manus fight, you have to go all the way back to that save.
Yeah, whenever I was first playing this game, I kind of figured that that's just how it worked always. So that's why I saved all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you can continue usually, but this is the first time where it's like you're going all the way back. There's no continues.
That's wild.
The other trick here is that if you keep pressing circle after he stops torturing you, you'll keep gaining life for a little bit. So that's pretty helpful.
Yeah, and this mini game makes a return in the game right after this. There are torture scenes and capture scenes in pretty much every game.
Yeah.
But not all of them involve this mini game.
The great one in Peace Walker.
Yeah.
I had to
my
restart
forearm
this.
got fucked. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I had to restart this 4 fucking times. And you know, I had
wow.
talked about this, about how I was just gonna give up and save Otacon.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I can't. I never can. I did Meryl again this time. I've literally never saved Otacon.
Why would you?
So technically, let's be real. Technically, when you save Meryl, Otacon's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Why-
canonically, it's fine. Like this
Either
is the better
way.
ending.
Right.
But dude, my forearm got fucking swole.
Yeah, dude.
You guys.
Jacked. Just how it
Yeah,
happens.
it's fucking nuts. Yeah, so I was just like, Snake wouldn't give up. I can't give up. So
Yeah. Role playing, I like it.
I restarted it 4 times, and
just like Snake would have.
yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me start over.
But yeah, you can't skip the cutscenes. So
Oh,
had to
that's
watch
right.
it.
That's
Yeah.
a bummer.
because they're in engine, like you
Yeah.
can't skip them.
Specifically, the first-person cutscenes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So on try number 4, I tried my patented pencil trick. So flash forward to the future when we play Peace Walker, or the past if you're a listener already. I had
Back to
a
the
fucking
future.
hell of a time with the torture sequence in Peace Walker, and what I did was I busted out a pencil and just used that to jam the button, and that's how I beat it. My patented pencil trick failed me on my 4th try.
Oh no.
And I said, okay, I'm going to do it one more time. And if I fail, I'm just going to submit and keep going. And I managed to, I slipped off the button in the first try, but for somehow on my 5th try, I managed to succeed. And I was just like, God damn it.
And you're talking about the second torture, right?
No, this is the first one.
You were having that much difficulty on the first. How did you
Yeah.
finish the second one?
I didn't deal with the second one.
I feel like you get called back in a second
Yeah.
time no matter what.
Really?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's two torture sequences here, and then he lets you go and says it's enough for the day. And then you're in your prison cell, you have some codec calls, and then you get called back in by the guard once more before Otacon comes to the cell.
Oh.
And so I don't think there's a way to sneak out of the prison cell before the second torture sequence.
Oh.
So essentially, it's
No,
one
I
big
did.
torture
I did,
sequence,
but
but
no,
it's
I
separated.
had trouble on the first one for some reason. On the second one, I survived it the first try.
Gotcha.
But the first one, that's why I'm not thinking about it. But the first one, I had the fucking hardest time with.
Gotcha. For me, it's always like the very last one.
Yeah.
Because I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's 4 or 5 waves. It's the very last one that like
That gets you.
I kid you not. I just like I get like my arm hurts so bad that I'm
Yeah.
like fuck.
Button mashing's tough.
But along those lines, between those two, in this little prison section, it's actually really neat because Naomi will call you and offer to vibrate the controller on your arm. She asks you to
Yeah.
hold the controller up to your arm, and she soothes you.
That's nice.
Yep. And
This is
made,
so.
This
This
made
is
me
where
Naomi's
like
friend for the rest of the game.
yeah. This is where after the first torture sequence, this is where if you haven't put together the puzzle pieces, this is where you should be able to figure it all out together that Decoy Octopus was Donald Anderson.
Like, man, he looks
Because-
real dead.
Well, not the
Yeah,
real
when you
Donald
get to the
Anderson, but
cell-
he was the one that we encountered.
Yeah. When we get to the cell, the first thing Snake notices is the DARPA chief's body's in the corner. He smells real bad, and there's maggots on him, which imply that he's been dead for a couple days at least. This is kind of like, oh yeah, this is the real one, and something bad happened to him, and yeah.
The big descriptor too is he has no blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody
Blood
took
was
all
bad.
of his blood.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Somebody took the blood into himself. That's
It's
those
weird
are the
that-
exact words that a certain person uses later.
Is that how octopuses work?
I have no idea. I wonder.
like
Do you think
blood.
he does? Do you think he or she does that for the nanomachines?
Maybe.
Interesting. I learned something also about nanomachines that definitely got retconned. That gets mentioned by the same person who talks about taking in the blood. This is Johnny, by the way, hanging out outside of the prison.
Yep.
As canonically, every time you are imprisoned, it is a Johnny, except for in 2,
Yeah.
I think. Maybe it's just in the first and the third game. I don't know why I said every. But
Well, there's no one guarding you in 2. Remember?
Yeah,
There's
that's true.
the-
Yeah. But Johnny's sick and sneezing because Meryl took his clothes,
Classic Johnny.
Yep.
which I thought was very funny.
A cold boy.
The big thing, I'm trying to remember if it happens between sequences or what. I think it's during the codec. Snake essentially is talking about like why this even happened, I think. And I'm pretty sure the colonel is just telling him that like due to American image while the president is visiting the summit,
Yeah.
Decided
I
to
think-
start 3, yeah.
yeah, the Start 3 summit, which is it's interesting that it's S3, like another S3 that comes into the series.
Whoa.
But Colonel essentially says that they have to keep the whole thing under wraps no matter what, just to kind of preserve the American image, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently
So
the
this-
president doesn't even know about Metal Gear. Like it's on a super need to know basis.
Yeah, allegedly. We will.
Allegedly.
There's
Yeah.
there's reason to believe that's not true, but yeah. So
I think this is one of the Kodak calls where he says something along the lines of like, if this got out, the president would be ruined. And that
Yeah,
was,
because allegedly again the president is against eugenics
Yeah.
publicly, and news of the genome army getting out would ruin him. Apparently,
that line happened, and I was like, that line wouldn't work today.
yeah.
in this climate.
And Snake asks if that's all the colonel knows, and he's quiet and
A little
Snake
cagey
is
about it.
upset about that. And then they switch over to Anderson, talk about how he's dead, and then Campbell asks Snake. He says, it's a lot to ask," and Snake interrupts him and says that he will save Meryl. And Campbell's
Yeah,
thankful
for sure.
about it.
and then you go into
If
your
you call-
second torture.
Yeah, my favorite thing here too is if you call Miller, he gives you all this advice about surviving torture and how to escape and stuff like that and what to do, and I find that preemptively hilarious and upsetting at the same time.
Did you try calling Meryl? I don't think I did this playthrough.
I did.
No response. There's no response.
Oh, okay, cool. Which is always sad.
Yeah, there's no response at all for the rest of the game from Meryl.
That's a
Interesting.
bummer.
But yeah, so then after you get out of the second torture, I don't think there's really any additional information from Ocelot during the second torture.
No, he kind of repeats the same shtick.
That's when Otacon shows up, and I'm pretty sure he just brings you food.
Yep.
But one of the things that he brings you is a ketchup bottle, and then Otacon is being a real wiener, and Snake's like, "I need you to help break me out," and Otacon's like, "I'm not going to hurt anybody," and then becomes invisible and runs away.
Yep.
And you have a couple different ways to get out of the cell. I believe you can hide under the bed,
Okay.
and then the guard comes back and sees that you're gone, freaks out, comes in to check on you. and you can time it to where you can get out and like beat his ass.
Yeah.
The only reason why I think that's in the game is because I accidentally broke the ketchup bottle while he still could see me, and he just went like, "What are you doing in there, weirdo?" And I was just like, "Ah, damn it."
Interesting.
So I think they had to like, code in like a failsafe.
That's smart. I did the catch up.
But I think you can
works.
also, if you wait long enough, I think
Yeah.
Otacon just unlocks the door from from the network. I think,
Yeah.
That's cool.
or if you call him enough times, I think he'll
Yeah.
just like hack the door open.
That's cool. I thought the catch up was neat.
He came back into so he leaves and goes to the bathroom, and that's when you can do the catch up. I forgot how to break the bottle for a second. I couldn't do it for whatever reason, and I couldn't do it before he came back out. He will fall asleep if he comes back out after a little bit, and you can use it then, and it'll work the same way.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's just a lot of funny gags here. I think there's only those 3 ways to get out, though. I don't think there's like a secret. If you lay flat and crawl and spin in a circle, he comes in to help join your dance party, which would be fucking amazing.
You also get some background about Naomi here too, if you because after the second torture, I believe Campbell will call you, and this is when you get the massage thing, huh?
The player
Calls yourself.
Yeah. Well, I didn't put the right emphasis on the
No,
word.
I know. I was kidding.
Corrected myself. But Campbell will call you, and this is when the massage thing happens, and then Naomi will mention that she had a brother. They'll talk about family. Their family.
Yeah. Doesn't she also talk about her Japanese father?
Yep.
Yes, this is when she mentions. So she mentions her brother and that he put her to school, but that he was dead now.
Right.
Actually, is this not at the beginning of the comm tower? That's what I've got in my notes. That it's Mei Ling. No, it's Mei Ling Miller. No, yeah, Mei Ling Miller and Naomi all hop on a party line and talk about stuff, and Naomi talks about her Japanese dad. I think it's the beginning of the comm tower.
Oh, it might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can talk about it now. We can talk about it now. I just wanted to like
This is when she talks about genes and why she got into
that's right.
science.
Yep.
So she talks to Snake. She says if there's a woman in his life, he says no. She asks him if he has any friends, and he says Campbell. And then
which is funny because they haven't talked in years before.
Yeah,
this game.
Campbell's like, funny that you'd still call me a friend.
Yeah, and then he also talks about Gray Fox and how they were friends despite being on the opposite side of the war.
Yeah.
And then Naomi says that that men are predispositioned to violence in their genes or something like that. And then she says that she got into genetics, but she wanted to figure out who she was because she didn't know who her parents were. And says that you can tell someone's fate by their DNA. And Snake asks her what his fate is, and she says she has no idea. And Snake says something that I thought was really, really cool. Was that he says, because you're a scientist, not a fortune teller.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Damn. Yeah. Every once in a while, there'll be these like fucking phenomenal bangers.
Yeah. Which is like kind of similar to like the conversation he had with Psycho Mantis earlier about like his future and his path.
Yeah, they do a really good job of at the beginning positioning Snake to be this badass, but by the end of the game, you're like, this guy is really flawed and kind of sad
This
and
is
kind
like-
of a douchebag.
This is like the type of guy that like when the camera's off of him, like he's going into his like 1-bedroom apartment, sitting in an armchair, lighting a cigarette, and just sitting in the dark.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. Which is way more in line with the Snake that we get in MGS4.
Yeah.
I would say. But yeah, that's interesting, and I think all that stuff comes to roost at the end of the game when they start to talk about the themes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, when you escape, you grab your shit. Pro tip: immediately
bomb in
check your
there.
inventory. Yeah, they put a bomb in your shit. I remember forever ago. It might have been the first time I was playing this. Actually, I legit blew up.
Yeah.
And it was like, excuse me.
Yeah.
I can't remember, Isaac. Did you get hurt by that the first time you played through it?
I don't remember either, but it sounds right.
It sounds plausible.
Because you blew up. I think what happened to me is I blew up and it killed me. And I went back and then I got a Kodak call that was like, "Hey, you got a bomb in your pocket from Deep Throat."
So it actually it kills you completely. It doesn't like hurt you. It just
Killed me.
It just murders you.
Yeah, a bomb blew up in your pocket.
Just in your pocket. Is it in your hot pocket?
It's in my hot pocket. My pocket is hot.
I really want a hot pocket right now.
Yeah, hot pockets are great.
We didn't read about Sniper Wolf, Ocelot, or Liquid in our book, so let me do that real fast. Just knock these out before we get to the next section. Sniper Wolf, page 47. A brilliant sniper. She can wait in sniping position for hours, days, or even a week without moving a muscle.
Yeah, okay.
Could have fucking fooled me.
Revolver Ocelot, an expert with handguns and a sadist with a penchant for torture.
Yeah, an expert with shit with that one fucking hand.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, when I was a kid in fucking 1998, I had no idea what sadist or penchant meant. So I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. I think I was like, saddest? Why is he so sad?
That's exactly what I thought it was.
Liquid Snake, a man with the same face as Snake. That's a real like Nick Cage, John Travolta back of the box DVD face-off quote. As Foxhound's squad leader, he's the mastermind behind the terrorist attack.
He sucks.
He's also wearing Big Boss's sick fucking shoulder-padded jacket.
I hate it.
Oh, dude, I love that jacket.
No, I love the jacket. I hate the Liquid Snake's wearing it.
Oh, gotcha.
Doesn't deserve to wear it.
So let's all play pretend that we're now back at the comm tower. The one addition I think is they've added some machine gun camera turrets in the B1 of the tank hangar.
Yeah.
When you come out, which is like a real fuck you. It's like, hey, you got rid of that bomb. That's cool. Fuck you. Here, eat some machine guns. And it's like, okay. But yeah, so we're outside of the comm tower. Sam, let's continue this Naomi discussion because Mei Ling, Miller, and Naomi all jump on
Party time.
the party line.
Yeah. So this is where they have a conversation about
Their pet peps. Their step peppers.
Yeah. So around here, Snake gets a call from Campbell, and he apologizes for not being able to save Meryl, and he tells Snake that she was a soldier and knew the risks, and then Snake tells Campbell what Meryl told him in the bathroom, that she thought that it was the only way to like connect with her father. At this point, Miller butts in and he says that Snake can't dwell in the past, and that he knows from experience that if he dwells in the past, it'll lead to madness, which...
Which, editor's note, ha.
Haha. Naomi here tries to coax Snake into admitting that he has feelings about Meryl, but Snake will not do it.
Yeah, Naomi's in this weird, like, I'm going to be your wingman / spiteful friend, where she's like, yeah, you know you want to fuck her. And it's just
Pretty
like, who are you?
Yeah, it's like, why are you so mean to me?
Yeah.
But also nice. But really mean.
Campbell, what Campbell does here is he brings up that interrogation must be in her genes, and they're like, what? And Naomi tells a story about her grandfather, who was an undercover operative, a Japanese undercover operative that worked as what was it, FBI?
Yeah, worked directly
Undersecretary to Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
50s.
Yeah, and he worked in nabbing the mafia in New York in the 50s.
Yeah.
I love the way
Miller-
that this whole thing plays out because Colonel Campbell definitely like chimes into the conversation that he is not a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, Naomi, hey,
Yeah,
tell him
mention the
tell him what you
Japanese
told
death
me.
thing.
It was
Yeah.
super cool.
We had a great time at the mob.
And Miller here is just like, I thought you didn't have family. And then she like really quickly says that she researched it when she was adult and that he was dead by the time she found out about him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's her
then-
grandfather, I think.
Yeah,
right?
it's her
Did we say that?
grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Campbell encourages Snake not to worry about Meryl and complete the mission. And then we moved on to the
Miller's not having that shit.
comms tower.
Yeah, Miller ends with like a real
I'm gonna do some research.
quick idea for a video game.
Yeah.
You just are the support crew hanging out and killing time
Yeah.
while Snake is like sneaking through Shadow Moses.
I like that.
Like, I want to know what they're
be cool.
doing. Because, like, at a certain point, too, Colonel Campbell's like, Naomi's not here. She's in the back taking a
Yeah,
nap.
just taking a nap.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
So here's my whole headcanon for that is that she was not taking a nap. She was doing the bad
oh, for
thing.
sure. For sure. She was doing bad stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because this whole game technically takes place in less than a day, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's 24 hours. So, anyway, yeah, we're here. We enter the tower and immediately are spotted.
Yeah.
We have to
like
grab
this.
some rope at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like
what
this
happens
section
if
either.
you don't grab the rope? Like if you're just like, oh fuck, and you just run past
I
it.
believe you have to come all the way back down.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I think I did that I almost said last year. 3 years ago when we started this podcast, I did that,
Oh wow.
I believe.
Shit.
Because I did not play along fully, but I did play portions back then. And I 100% got to the top of this, and I'm pretty fucking positive I had to turn right back around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy God. Okay.
Yeah, this game is not made for this type of gameplay.
No.
And I argued it for... So Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake has this exact moment in it.
Really.
And it is way worse in that game. But it's still not great here.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It felt out of place.
It took me a while to do this. I got killed a couple times,
Yeah.
and by the time I actually finished it, I had like no life left. I had like a sliver of life. It was really bad.
I feel like there's no way... There are a couple moments in this game. I feel like another one is all of the fucking cameras leading up to the Metal Gear, but I feel like you can just use a ton of chaff grenades and it's fine.
Right.
But there are certain portions of this game where it feels like you just take damage tax.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
no way... Like essentially it's the thing I was talking about with the fight with Meryl.
Right.
Whenever at the beginning when you're fighting the guards that are coming in.
Right. You just
Yeah.
have to.
There's no way to... Like you can't play well enough
Yep.
to not take damage. You just have to get hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, I just threw the fucking body armor on and just kind of ran for most of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what. If you flip, if guys will sometimes pop up in front of you, and I found that if you flip them backwards, it knocks the other guys behind you like bowling pins. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, when you get up to the very top, you can just start shooting all of them, and then
Yeah.
you're good.
Right.
yeah, once you get to a certain point, like if you can get to the ladder and climb up it, they just obviously won't follow you.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. Isaac, how'd you hold up here? Did you use the square X trick, or had you not learned about it before you got to this?
Well, I guess Sam had told us all, but then I forgot about it.
Oh, no.
And
Yeah, I
so
tried it. I'm real bad with it. The square
Yeah.
X thing, I can't get it to lock on to anything.
I'm really bad at aiming in this game in general.
Oh yeah.
I just can't figure it out, like the depth
It's
or
hard.
the angles. So weird. I thought this thing went on for like way too long, and I died a couple times
Yeah.
along the way.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna make a bold statement right now. I think that this section running up the comm tower is worse than Palki.
Well.
I think this playthrough, I'd probably agree with you. Yeah, I don't know. Like the backtracking was kind of tedious, but at least like you could not
Do it.
die.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Isaac,
Just
to your
getting
point.
shot to get shot.
Yeah, Isaac, to your point just now about how hard it is to shoot with the depth and stuff. I think one of the things that we didn't really talk about, and I don't know if it's due to I don't know if they were doing pressure sensitivity in the controllers before the PS2. But I know that that's involved in MGS2. In MGS1, I think if long as you hold square, you won't let go and shoot. But there's like, and I don't think we've talked about this, there's like a soft lock on.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
hold square around a dude, Snake, and so you have to give yourself like a second before you shoot.
Yeah.
Because Snake will like auto target. So you kind of have to like allow him to auto target before you let go of square.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
super fiddly. If you're not like, it has to be
Yeah.
like it's like weirdly precise.
Yeah, it's like fighting game precise for some
Yeah.
fucking reason.
Yeah, I hated this section.
Very nice. We're in agreement. Yeah, we get to the top and it's real bombastic and lots of explosions because the Hind D's here.
Here's that motherfucker with his hind D.
Hi, Hind D. And let me flip to page 53 and read you the description on the Hind D.
Everybody, 53.
No, I'm
in
kidding.
there.
There's not one. I wish there was one.
Yeah, here's my favorite thing about the Hind D is that he fucking took out two F-16s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With this thing, and
Yep.
like you turned him into a little bitch baby.
Whoa.
So not yet.
I'm just saying,
We didn't
not
turn him
yet,
into a bitch
but
baby
like
yet.
you will.
I do want to make mention real quick that in page 53, and I was just flipping through this for jokes earlier, but in page 53, 100% they retconned. It's not Zanzibar land.
It's just
It's
Zanzibar.
just straight up Zanzibar.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, you know.
And I'm pretty sure they retcon it back again.
Yeah, it's definitely Zanzibar land in future games.
Yeah, they call it Zanzibar Land in the like all of the text, flavor text, timeline post credit
for
stuff
sure.
in 5.
Yeah, because Zanzibar's a real country, and I'm pretty sure you can't
Yeah.
make a claim that they're like a terror nation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But anyway, weird typo. I just wanted to point it out while I saw it.
Yeah.
What's
Going,
your favorite dessert?
oh
I
no,
won't make it, but I'll order it from Zanzibar.
Nice.
love it. Very good, very good. But yeah, so we are now having to do the inverse of the comm tower, which is rope swinging down the side of this tower.
Spider-Man.
As far as the way that the mini games in this game play out, I think
Yeah.
this is like the least mechanically sound.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
a
I
little bit
didn't-
of a nightmare.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, but
This
I
one's
made
got
it down
it's got a
for sure.
close second with the turret sequence at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But at least you can do
Yeah,
that one in
you
first
just gotta
person.
you hop down, you avoid the steam, you avoid the fire, and you just kind of make it down eventually.
going. Keep pushing through, and
Yeah.
eventually, after you die a couple times.
I read a note online. Apparently, in Twin Snakes, if you don't pick up the rope, you can hang drop.
Oh,
Like you can
what?
just like ledge hold your whole way down,
Oh, that's cool.
which seems way better for me
Yeah.
than this. So I'll have to play with that when we get to that point. But yeah, it's essentially just a think of like an inverted Ice Climbers NES game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely didn't do a good job, but I made it to the bottom without dying. So hey,
Yeah, and then there's like a long catwalk connecting the two towers, and
best Lord of the Rings book.
yeah,
No, I'm kidding.
and
I
there's like a
never
bunch
heard
of
of the
dudes at the
best
end. There's a bunch of dudes at the end of the walkway that we can hit with the Nikita if we want to, but I've noticed that when you hit
Yeah.
them with the Nikita, they come back, which is weird.
Oh.
What?
Yeah,
what do
like,
you mean they come back?
so between popping off shots of the Nikita, like more dudes kept populating for me.
Not for me. It was
Yeah,
always a
yeah,
three.
not
There's
either.
roll durable.
Oh, that must have been what it was because I
Yeah.
thought I killed them and then I like shot again and I was like, why are they still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they just
keep
they
getting
keep
back
on
up.
getting up because they take a lot of hits, but
big assholes.
they're the same three guys.
So it's the elevator folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Those motherfuckers.
Those
Okay.
guys.
But yeah, so we get to the base of the second tower and immediately, like right as we enter, we just pick up a stinger, which I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's how we're gonna fight that helicopter. This is convenient. We've got some elevator issues. If you go all the way down, the stairs are blown out, and if you go all the way up before going all the way down, there's some boxes blocking it. But when you
Yep.
come back up again, a good soft-boiled boy is right there waiting for us.
Yep.
Our good friend
Yeah.
Otacon.
Everybody's favorite
Yeah,
guy.
Snake hears a noise and he
James says
reveals.
begrudgingly.
Yeah, but Otacon says that he saw Snake rappelling down the building from the back of the enemy's truck on the way to the fucking building.
Fucking asshole.
And he says Snake's like a movie hero, and Snake says that in the movies the hero saves the girl. And then Otacon,
Don't beat yourself up, Snake.
yeah. And then Otacon asks if Snake has ever fallen in love, and asks the infamous "Can love bloom on the battlefield?"
Oh, yeah.
question.
Oh, yeah.
And then Snake says, anyone can fall in love anywhere and any time, but they have to be able to protect the one you love. And Otacon
Wow.
agrees real sadly.
Yeah, Otacon's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I'm
Something
a piece
I
of
will
shit.
never
I gotta
do.
go.
Yeah. And then he asks Otacon to repair the stealth camo, and that Snake says he has to swat down a noisy fly.
Yeah, which
Love
is
that.
great callback.
And then you make your climb to kill Vice President Helicopter.
Yeah, so we head up the stairs, and we fight the helicopter, and it's just it's two brothers yelling at each other while shooting at each other with missiles. That's pretty
If
much
you
it.
call Miller at any point here, there is no response.
Interesting. Where's
Ooh.
Miller?
Can you imagine if he would have answered?
Yeah.
That would have been really funny.
Just like screaming.
He's like scrambling to like put his shit on in the Kodak thing.
Brother, I mean, Snake.
Sorry, Snake, I was taking a shit. But yeah, this boss fight's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, the helicopter circles the tower. We pop off a stinger shot. You can kind of arc the stinger in a weird way if you manage to get like a lock on in
Curve
enough
it.
time. Yeah, I don't know. We just shoot the helicopter down. Snake, real badass, turns and looks at the camera as the helicopter explodes and goes off the back of the
Oh, such a good
tower.
Such a good line.
I'm pretty sure there's no. Oh yeah, at the very end, dude, Snake just goes, "That takes care of the cremation."
Yeah,
And I was like, that is the coldest goddamn line Snake
hard
delivers in the
motherfucker.
whole game.
But yeah, so Otacon calls and tells Snake that the elevators were working again.
This fucking exchange cracks me up.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. This is like one of my all-time
It's
favorite
so
moments
good.
in Metal Gear.
Yeah. Do you wanna go through that, James?
Yeah, so I mean, he's just basically like talking about, oh, it's weird that the elevator just started working again, and Anakin's like, oh yeah, sure, oh yeah, it is weird. Snake's like, were there any issues with it. And he's like, oh, well, I did notice that the weight limit was going off, and I'm a real frail boy. He's like, how much do you weigh? He's like, it's
Snake does some
Buck
super quick
35.
math.
thin 135 pounds.
And Snake's like, it would take 526 pounds to make the elevator. I was like, whoa, dude.
Yeah.
It would take literally 4 grown other men.
Yeah, he says it should hold about 650 pounds. It would take 5 men to make that limit. And Otacon's face on the
so
codec
good.
zooms up on the
close.
screen. And he says, because he mentions that his stealth camo, the 4 other stealth camos were missing, and then he goes,
Yeah.
Snake, they're wearing stealth suits and they're in there with you.
And then it cuts out of that, and they're just like, it's too late, Snake. Time to die.
Yeah, I like how. Can we just talk about the unsung heroes of this boss fight?
So good.
Dude, these 4 nameless dudes who, like, literally without the thermal goggles, you would never know what they look
Yep.
like.
They're
We
great.
just have 4 nameless, faceless, shit-talking dudes.
Brave men.
It's very X-Men Arcade. Welcome to die, X-Men.
I really wish that one of them would have been like, yeah, you piece of shit. Like,
Stop being a little bitch, Snake.
yeah. Quit talking to your boyfriend, bitch.
What, are you guys gonna kiss? Ew.
It'd be so good. But yeah, I mean, you can just throw on the thermals, and I fucking just lit them up
Yeah,
with
with
the
the thermal, it's
FAMAs.
very easy.
Called it a
Fucking
day.
get 'em, yeah.
This exact
You know what my favorite
bit
thing about
in
this
Metal
was?
Gear 2 as well, by the way.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about this was knowing exactly what's about to happen. I put on the thermals before I pressed the button. Fucking nothing.
Oh yeah,
There's
Yeah.
nobody in there.
yeah, which is really irritating. This game kind of does. I mean, I wasn't quite sure where to put this, but this game kind of does the same trick a lot of times with its reveals, and the trick is a very simple one, which is, hey, come back later. Hey, you came back while you were gone. We changed some things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, they
Like-
do it all the time.
Yeah, like one of the bodies are missing. Like the one thing that like they you go through the cave to get to the first sniper battle with Wolf, and then as you make your way back, as you go through the commander's room, Manus's body is just gone.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things where
Like there's a lot of like
spooky.
missing bodies and like stuff happening. Like it's just
Yeah. Which is
Spooky.
cool. Don't get me wrong, I like
Yeah.
it, but I feel like they just use the same trick.
Yeah. Which is probably like a
Constantly.
limitation of the technology back then, I would think, too. A
Yeah.
little bit.
They probably need you to reload the location.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we come out after we whip those boys' asses. We come out of the elevator into the snowfields real quick. If you pay attention, you can turn around in first person before you trigger the sniper wolf fight and see a parachute stuck on the barbed wire or whatever at the top of the comm tower fence.
Interesting.
And you can call Master Colonel Campbell, and Snake mentions it.
Yeah.
And Colonel Campbell's like, there's no way that a man would have survived a fall like that.
Yeah.
And Snake's like, well, the parachute sort of seems like a dead ringer. And Roy's like, do you think he's trying to tell you that he's still alive? And Snake says, I think he's trying to tell me that he's going to string me up.
Yeah.
And then they're like, fuck, okay. It's interesting.
That's
I can
pretty
pull up the
fucking
scene.
baller.
Yeah, there's one line at the end, and I had never seen it before, and somebody wrote in, and I 100% apologize. I do not have it directly in front of me. I believe it was either Adam or PJ who mentioned it. Maybe I am forgetting. I will double check that really quickly while Sam describes this boss fight. But the other thing that I wanted to make mention of is the line at the end. So I'm going to pull that up as well. I wish I had the script, so I apologize for not having that ahead of time. Sam, tell us about the boss fight.
Yeah, so you go to the snowfield and you take a few steps in, and Snake gets shot, and he gets called by Otacon. And
Kill me.
yeah, Otacon realizes it's Sniper Wolf, and Snake is like, "Are you happy about this?" And he goes, "No." And then he begs Snake not to kill her.
Yeah,
and
it's like, whatever, bro.
Snake tells Snake that she's a good person, and then Wolf interrupts and says that from her she can see him perfectly from her position. And then Otacon begs them both not to fight each other, and Wolf tells him to butt out, and then she says that she's going to send Snake a love letter, a bullet from her gun to his heart.
Go
We've
ahead.
talked about it before. It's a quote from something, right?
Yeah, so it's from Blue Velvet, which is a
So good.
It's from Blue Velvet, which is a David Lynch film, and the line is delivered by Dennis Hopper. And Dennis Hopper says, I'm going to send, and he's talking to Kyle MacLachlan, who's the main character, and he says, I'm going to send you, his is way more profane. He's like, I'm going to send you a love letter, fucker. It's a bullet from my gun to your heart, fucker. And it's just like super weird. But like she like line for line copies it. And holy shit, I guess I have the Metal Gear Solid Integral ISO file that I'm emulating off of.
Oh, so
because apparently it's from Integral. I'll have to verify that it's only Integral. I have to look it up because I feel like the person who wrote in didn't have it in Integral. I'll keep checking real quickly, but the one thing that I wanted to make mention of that was kind of weird was it's right here at the very fucking end. Oh man, come on. Oh yeah, so when Colonel at the very end says, well, in any case, don't let your guard down, for some reason his portrait is just static.
Yeah.
Which I thought was super weird.
It is weird.
Oh, this is the one thing that I thought was super weird. Snake literally says impossible. As soon as he jumped out of the pilot seat, he would have been sliced up faster than an onion on an infomercial.
Wow. Thanks, Snake.
Which is a literal line
real
which
snake
makes
boy.
no sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Were there infomercials as popular in the late
yeah.
90s? Okay.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Fair enough. It's just like a weird deep cut, I feel like.
Yeah.
The nicer
Not,
dice.
not any deeper than the fucking Iditarod or whatever the snow mushroom
Iditarod?
thing is. Iditarod?
I did. What did you call it?
Iditarod? I don't know what I'm... what's it
Idaho,
called?
Udaho, Idatrod, Udatrod.
Iditarod? What is it?
Iditarod.
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 Jesus.
That was close.
Let me see. I feel like
I wanted to bring this up here because I know that if you listen in the future, if you're listening for the first time, we're going to have an episode about this in the future. And if you're listening to it as a listener who's listened before, you've listened to this episode probably. If I've ever said anything good about this boss battle, I'd like to officially apologize for that because I hate this. I put it on my like top 10 list of like boss battles in the series, and it's not. It's bad. So sorry.
oh no.
Did anybody do it the proper way?
Well, so here's the thing. I don't remember what the proper way is, nor do I remember what the cheese way is. So I don't know what is what and what I did. So I need some help here.
Oh no. Yeah, so I can talk about the cheese way, and I can also confirm very, very quickly that based on what I'm reading right now, that Kodak conversation is in all the versions of the game, I think.
Oh, the fucking Nikita.
Yeah, so that's what I did.
That's right. I used the Nikita at the end. It was the last hit because I ran out of sniper bullets and diazepam.
Oh wow.
So I was just
dude.
like, fuck, I guess I'll just use the Nikita. Like, I was having a real hard time.
Yeah.
Well, I
She
got
just
super
moves around so
frustrated.
fucking much.
Yeah, I got super frustrated with how much she was moving and the fact. So one of the things we need to 100% isolate here is that the draw distance is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And like if you are, I don't know how to describe it. It's like if you've ever played Tenchu Stealth Assassins or whatever the fuck that game is. It's like that, where it's like 4 feet in front of you, it's just black.
Right.
And so in this, it's like trees, black, snow, unless you're in the sniper view. And when you're in the sniper view, you can only move so much without kind of getting lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to. It's a fucking nightmare.
It's not.
The other thing too is like there's this like imaginary line that if you try and cross it, she will just shoot you no matter what you do.
Yeah, I discovered that.
And she's able to get off multiple shots on you with no problem. And for some reason, I think I may have been thinking about 4, because this is what I did on the snowfield in 4 was I remember in this battle thinking, oh right, I hit under the truck, and you can't even get close to the truck, otherwise she'll just fucking take you out. So yeah.
Man, I applaud
Yep.
you guys.
Yeah, I
What did
tried
you do, Isaac?
a bunch of times. with Nikita.
So I'm awful at sniping. Like terrible, like the worst.
Okay, great. Use more synonyms for awful, please.
What else did I use?
Use the worst,
Terrible.
terrible.
The no good, very bad day.
Amen. Amen to that, brother.
Isaac
So-
and
Had
the
to.
PSG one's no good, horrible, very bad day.
So I automatically go to the Nikita and then just fire away at her. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy pudding pie.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the Nikita because now that we're talking about this, I remember bringing that up like when we
Yeah.
originally did this, and I didn't do it this time until the very end of the battle because I died so much. I was
Gotta
like,
do it.
fuck this, I fucking hate it.
Gotta do the Nikita.
I did this battle 6 fucking times. I ran out of rations.
Holy
I ran out of
smokes.
diazepam. I ran out of bullets on the last one. I just had to cheese it with the rocket. Like it's not great. And I really
I
want.
mean,
and
honestly, if I'm in the field and there's a sniper shooting at me and I've got a rocket launcher, I mean,
Right.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
be
the problem is,
resourceful.
I will say the problem with the problem with doing it that way is that the rocket you have to like curve it up a hill,
Yeah,
yeah,
and if you don't do it just right, you will keep running the missile into the side of the fucking hill.
yeah,
And the big problem with that is you only have 12 of them.
right.
So, granted, I think you only need like 4 to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
And if she spots it before it gets to her, I believe she will.
She'll shoot it.
She'll
Yeah.
shoot it. Yeah.
Did anybody after this battle? Did anybody use the sniper rifle again?
I did not.
No,
I didn't even use it in this
I
battle.
never saw a reason for it. I didn't use it in this one either. God damn it!
So,
I only ever use a sniper rifle. I use a sniper rifle to fight her the first time, and then the second time, and then that's the only time I ever use a sniper rifle in this game.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I believe
sniper
that-
versus sniper.
I believe that the person who wrote in about the parachute scene is just lost to time.
Wow.
So I apologize there.
If you wrote in about the parachute scene, reach out to Alessia and let him know.
Yeah,
If
let
you wrote
me
in
know
about
the
the
real piece of
parachute
shit.
scene, write in again, and then we'll lose that one too.
Yeah. No, I apologize. Typically, I'm way more put together whenever we're doing listener response episodes, so I wasn't thinking about
Damn.
it. But I will continue to passively dig it up in the background while we speak. But
good,
yeah, so
you
we should
good.
probably talk about. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, you good?
Thanks, Isaac.
Oh my god.
We are tantalizingly close to the end of this too right now. So
Correct.
let's talk about what happens after the battle. If somebody
Oh,
wants
where
to.
Attican cries like a little bitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. James has no emotions.
I got no remorse for this guy. He's bad
James
genes.
he's got bad. So does Snake, but like it's we've talked about this.
It's
Snake's
love.
got genes.
Sins of the
champion.
father, sins of the father. God damn it.
Just Snake's father's great. Good guy.
Snake's father, Big Boss is kind of an asshole, and
What?
you can't. Yeah, he's a big asshole, and you can't
Oh,
deny
yeah.
that.
I don't know about that. He's just trying to do what's best for
Oh
the
no,
World.
guys.
Wow. Okay.
and
Anyway.
itself.
But yeah, so you approach a dying sniper wolf, and she says that she's waited for the moment and this moment, and that she was shot she's lung shot, is what she said,
Lung shot.
but she cannot be saved. And she dreamed of dying in a peaceful place like this, essentially.
Which is like super hardcore. There is some like real edge lord like script writing
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. And
You
she
think
mentions
most
like
of that's
her,
Kojima? You think it's the translation?
Oh, dude, I have no
who
idea.
knows?
Yeah.
I think most of it is the time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
sign
she
of the
was
time.
she was born on the battlefield, and her like whole life was fucked. And her hero Saladin took her from her misery. Saladin. Yeah. And Saladin is Big Boss,
Hell yeah.
and turned her into a sniper, and she was able to watch the world from the scope of her rifle. Sorry,
Again,
that just
very
said-
edgy.
The scope. I watched the brutality of mankind as an observer from the scope of my rifle.
Oh, piece of shit.
So good. I love it.
But she joined Liquid to take revenge on the world. And she shamed herself and her people by selling her body and soul for vengeance.
Wow.
And Snake tells her that wolves are noble creatures, and then she asks Snake if he is Saladin.
Ooh.
And then yeah, and then Snake asks her why she spared Meryl, and then she tells him that she never kills for sport, and that Meryl wasn't her target. And Wolf realizes at this point that she wasn't waiting to kill him, that she was waiting to be killed by him. And then she calls Snake a hero and begs to be set free. And then Otacon pops up and goes, asks her why and says that he loved her. And Wolf asks for her gun, just completely ignores him. Asks for her gun and like really wants it because it's part of her.
Yeah.
And then the wolf dogs start howling, and she's just says, "Everyone's here now." And Snake prepares to kill her. Otacon turns around and says goodbye, and then Snake kills her.
Yeah. Puts it down.
I mean, there's no other way to. There's no
Yeah, just the way he
pussyfooting
does.
around it.
I like that, much like Psycho Man, it's like she just wanted her like one memento to be close to her. Like Psycho wants his gas mask, and
yeah.
she wants her gun. It's like, what's wrong with you fucking people?
Yeah, and
Get real.
after this happens, Otacon is real sad because he realizes that love could bloom on the battlefield. But
Yeah, it sure can,
It
Otacon.
was too late.
Totally right.
It was
Leave-
too.
leave-
She was
leave
clearly
our
into
sweet
you.
soft boy alone.
His dad had the same issues, you know?
Oh gosh.
God,
Anyway,
dude, James is
but at
all
this
about
point,
the
so
dad hate.
I don't. I don't think we mentioned this in the prison when Snake is captured, but one of the things that that Otacon brings him is Wolf's handkerchief, and it smells vaguely like her. So if you walk through the caves with it equipped, the wolves don't attack you and they love you.
Whatever you're doing in the caves after this, like, God bless your soul. I don't know why you've backtracked all that way.
Yeah. Well, no. So
guess you
because
can't.
after you get the handkerchief, Snake. What am I trying to say right now? You do have to backtrack. You have to go through the caves again, because you go through, you get captured. You have to go back.
Oh, that's right.
You have to go
Sorry,
back through to get back to the comm tower. So you can have this equipped to just make an easy path through the wolves this time. But yeah, Snake puts the handkerchief on her face, and Otacon asks why, and he says he's returning it to its owner because he has no tears to shed. And then Snake encourages Otacon to get a head start on leaving, and says that if he can't stop Metal Gear, the place is going to get bombed to hell. And Otacon yells after Snake and says, and asks what Wolf, Otacon, and Snake were fighting for. And Snake says that if he makes it through this, he'll tell him. And Otacon says that he'll keep searching too. And then he disappears with his camo. And then you have the ability to explore the snowfield. But one particular room in the top of the map, you can go down to the blast furnace, which will also take you to the end of Disc 1.
Yep. If you check any of the other rooms, you'll get a ton of supplies. And one of the things that you'll find is a post from Joshua Owens on our Facebook page that is the thing that told us about the Easter egg with the Hind D. So there you go.
Hey, you found
Very
it.
happy to have found that. God. Good Christ.
That was a roller coaster.
For sure. And Joshua Owens appears to be American. So there's no way that it's integral exclusive. So there you have it.
Wow.
I thought you were gonna say there's a cardboard box. I was like, oh,
No, as Dell, the funky Homo sapien, would say, Joshua Owens for y'all not knowing.
Wow.
Very good.
Wow.
there is one room out here that's a level 7 that I guess you can backtrack to after you get the card from Raven later, but I forgot to do that.
Yeah, I didn't
So I
check
wonder
that one
what's in
either.
there.
I assumed it is. I assumed it was just a shortcut to get back to the Metal Gear.
Really?
I think it is. I think you can go in and out. I think.
Huh.
I believe that's what that is. But anyway, yeah. Essentially, there's just a bunch of supplies and stuff like that. There's one of the rooms on the far right that has just a dumb camera, which is really irritating because like you just kind of walk into it. I don't think it gives you an alert, but it just shoots you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it.
Wow.
It looks like it's just Stinger ammo protected by 3 security cameras. So, not worth it.
Very cool.
Cool. So that is the end of the.
Oh,
episode.
it's just Stinger ammo protected by 3 security cameras.
Sam. That's what I just said.
Did you?
Yeah, I literally just said it.
I think I was just
Like
not listening
word
to you
for
because I was
word.
looking it up. Holy
We
shit.
said. I like how we said literally the exact same
That
thing.
was perfect.
Like even the O was like the same. That was awesome. I love you,
I
Sam.
wasn't listening because I was looking it up.
No, you're totally fine. Captivating last 10 minutes of this
Good
podcast
stuff,
is
good
Alessio
stuff.
not listening while he's looking something up, and then Sam also not listening while he's looking.
Incredible.
Oh my god.
No, I'm kidding.
Anyway.
But yeah, that was the episode, you guys. That was the whole first disc of the game. And don't worry, the second disc only has about an hour of game on it. So that's obnoxious that it shipped on 2 discs. But yeah, I like what's coming next. Sam, can you give them a little taste for what's coming next if they aren't used to it?
You got Porsche, and you got a guy, and you got a big robot, and you got a Jeep.
Yeah, we got a card that changes shape based on the temperature. It's all fun stuff.
I didn't say that at all.
No, I know. I said and.
And plus,
Yeah,
you get
and
a
plus.
card, cold card,
Yeah.
hot card.
It's super good. On the next episode of this show, we will be covering the remainder of the game, but we'll also have a special guest, friend of the show, and special correspondent Alice Chang will be joining us to talk about her experience with the game, as well as helping us read some listener responses. So that'll be fun. If you're listening to this on the regular feed, it's too late for you to have given us the responses. However, if you follow us on Facebook and Twitter, you will see that we're making posts asking for responses. So definitely do that so that you don't miss out on the next loop. Unfortunately, that next loop is going to be on episode 90, starting with episode 96. So you have a lot of podcasts to listen to before that day, unless you want to jump ahead. But yeah, that's next. We end the game, we listen to response, and I'm probably going to find some Easter eggs for us to talk about and secrets, even though we already
Cool.
covered some. So yeah, that's that. Let's take it into the admin section of the show. If you want to support the show, you can feel free to patronize us. It's patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays. The tier that we typically recommend minimum is like the $2 tier, because that is what gets you kind of into the entry-level fan club zone, which is you get every episode early. That can be anywhere from like a couple days early to several weeks early to, at one point, we even had several months early on some shit. But those get done as soon as they get fresh out of the editing oven. The other tier that I want to plug real quick, though, is the $10 a month tier. We have at first experimented, but now are consistently putting together 30-minute Let's Plays of us playing through the games chronologically, or somewhat chronologically. We're starting with Metal Gear Solid 1.
I've been on one. James has been on some. Like it's good. It's fun.
Yeah, there are 4 of them as of time of recording. 4th one will be dropping soon. We did 1 week. I even put out 2 1 week. So that's pretty consistent. So the $10 tier gets you video stuff. So thank you videos, Let's Play videos, a lot of really cool exclusive videos that are actually not public at all. So consider supporting at that level as well. If you don't have any money, that's totally fine. Feel free to spread information about the show by word of mouth or visiting our website, MetalGearMondays.com or MetalGearSolidPodcast.com to either use our Amazon affiliate link, buy some sick merch, or consider giving us an iTunes rating or review, because that really helps the show out. I'm going to start trying to write a blog post like once a week for the podcast website that is like tangentially related to the way that the episodes get recorded. I actually have a fun story to do with a mall that I want to write about that involves Metal Gear. But yeah, you guys should check that out, and check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the things. We are Metal Gear Mondays everywhere except for Twitter, which is Metal Gear Monday. Yeah, I think that's about it. Sam, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on the internet at Sanjul. That's SANJUUL. I tweet stuff there. I also want to bring up the Instagram again, because I'm very proud of the Instagram.
Oh, absolutely. I love it.
Instagram Metal Gear Mondays. I took a break over the holiday season of posting clips on there, but they're back and better than ever. So check that out. And then again,
Totally.
the store, bit.ly/MGM store. You can check that out. We got some shirts up there.
Yep. I think right now the website has a footer section at the bottom with 3 links for you to support. But I'm also going to add the shop to the top navigation bar as well. So, yeah. Isaac, where can people find you?
Hey, get me up at doesn't have a twit and see what I can do on that thing.
Yeah, Isaac tries to stealth tweet, but we see him.
Is that gross? Was that gross?
What?
I don't know. It felt vaguely
Was that
gross.
pervy? Like, was that a problem?
I don't know.
Is that a
Isaac's,
problematic thing for Isaac to say?
Isaac's like, "Give me up on the Twitter."
Get me up.
See what I can do.
yeah.
Let me show you what I can do with this Twitter.
Let me do that.
James, where can
Do
people find
you.
you on the internet?
Um,
Whoa!
wow.
Isaac just got very
Fuck.
explicit.
On the Twitter,
You can
on the
find
Twitter.
me. What are you saying?
Isaac, gonna give it to you.
It sounded like you said, "I'm a Twitter." I'm a Twitter.
Everybody should go follow Isaac. You can find
Sorry,
me at
James.
James Reichmuth pretty much on any platform at jamesreichmuth.com. Yeah.
How do you spell that?
REICHMUTH, and then James spelled like James. Don't be weird about it.
James is JAYMEES.
Jaime?
I knew a guy that spells his name like that. He's an asshole. He's not listening to this, but just
You
know
should change
he's
your-
out there. He's an asshole.
You should change your Twitter handle to Boston James.
Ooh.
I should see if that's available. There's no way it is, but like, what if
There's
it was?
gotta. Hold on, I'm gonna check it out right now.
I tried for a long time to get it changed to Jimmy Stinger, but some fucker's sitting on it.
Oh, no.
I'd be Jimmy Stinger on everything if I could be.
James was Jimmy Stinger in Metal Gear Solid 1 when he was shooting at that helicopter.
Yeah, it was.
While Sam looks that up, I am going to plug
Yeah,
myself really
Boston
quick.
James is taken by some
damn it.
18-year-old guy who's into boxing. Fuck that guy.
Yikes. You can find me at AC Summerfield on Twitter. Pretty much anywhere is at AC Summerfield. ACSummerfield.com. And add me, fuck it. We're going to be, when we cover MGS5, we're going to be doing some Metal Gear Online cooperative play. And I actually had somebody Facebook message me today to ask if it'd be okay for them to play along with us. So why not? I can't remember what the group size is. So add me on PSN. It's at AC Summerfield. If you wouldn't mind, just in the notes section, just put MGM so that I know that you're not a stalker. I have a private friend list on there that's just MGM folks, so feel free to add me. I don't play a lot of I do play a lot of Metal Gear. I don't play a lot of multiplayer games, so if that's what you're in there for, yeah, just message me if you want to play a game and we'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the show for this episode. We kept it under 2 hours. That's awesome. And yeah, really enjoy you guys checking out the show, and always get to that part of the show where almost 100 episodes in, I don't really quite know what to do.
Hey, what's that?
What'd you point at? My wall, a cable,
God damn it!
speaker cable,
You do your best over here, and you get this type of response.
the external hard drive.
I swear to
I
God.
set you up. I set you up for success,
is-
and you fucking knock yourself.
Oh,
down.
you're talking about the canvas box on my shelf.
Blow
The
my
box.
brains out.
That's just a box, James. That is just a box.
I
It's
hate
just a
it.
box.
Thanks.
Greetings. Goodbye.
What are you, AOL?
Just a box.